See, I hit the button on time, but it didn't say that we're on time there. So
Well,
look at us.
we're here. And is it appropriate, Deeds, to start with fist by bump? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. Is that
Actually, shouldn't we be doing this?
All right, let's not give away the end of the show. Okay, because that's the end of our show. That's full warning. That's what Steve and I were just talking about. The end of the show. We're starting on time today. For the people that get the audio only on Fridays, it's always on. We're always on time to them. It's whenever they want it, they've got it. Right, exactly. We're on their time. But for everybody in the live, hey, we're here. We're on time, right on the button. But we're gonna go. We're gonna do a spoiler conversation of Hail Mary. We're gonna wrap the show up with Project Hail Mary. Probably start about a half hour before the end with the show, do spoiler free, and then like 15 minutes left, we'll go to spoilers. We'll give you plenty of warnings so that if you haven't seen it, you can bow out, come back later. But that will be the end of the show, so you won't be missing anything else.
It's being what?
What
film are we talking about?
I said Project Hail Mary.
Did you say? Oh, okay, sorry, buddy, I missed that.
I did.
Fair enough. Okay. Oh, okay.
I said for Project Hail Mary.
Oh, okay. Project Hail Mary then.
Yeah, Project Hail Mary. So, and that's what we were just talking about there. Yep. And fist my bump, and we'll talk about that and spoilers. Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Lots of fun. So much fun this week. We've got meet and greets. We've got home theater experiences. We've got passing of an icon to talk about. We've got, it's just, it's our ninja month is like minor this week. It's like, man, we got to get that in, but it's like, okay, we'll get that one in and we'll move on. And then it's after that, it's like, I don't even know how each subject could be a show unto itself.
Oh, 100%. Yes. Yeah. Very easily indeed. Yeah, we could. But yes, what a week. Sometimes weeks feel like months, and this is one of those months weeks.
Yeah, it feels like we've had 2 weeks between shows. We're a day later, than normal. But it feels like because so much has been cram packed since the last time we sat down. But in a good way, it's great. Absolutely. Great stuff. And I've got a new shirt and everything. Although clearly you'll probably see it's way too big. Have you washed it yet? No, I need. Okay. I will do. But yeah, it's way too big. I got a 2XL. I don't know why. I thought, well, maybe it'll be looser from an XL, which is my other one. But this is like a dress. Yeah. So apologies for that, everyone. It's slovenly, but there it is. Yep. Yeah, that looks great.
In fairness, it's comfortable. It's just big.
Yeah. Oh, it's very like a blanket.
Like its owner. Yeah.
Wow. We got an image of some, comparison now because I've met some. We'll talk about that when we get to.
Oh, well, yes, yeah, quite.
And how fun that was, and I'm trying to grab the images. The other one, the images that you sent me too. But yeah, we got so much to get to. You want to just get into the show?
Let's do it.
We'll get going, and you can. I almost ended the show. That's how excited I am. This is ridiculous. All right, let's wait. See, I don't even know where.
We are Brightside Home Theater.
Hey, home theater nerds, welcome to the Brightside Home Theater Podcast, the multi-award-winning and giving and receiving home theater podcast that's all about the experiences, the sights. Where did it go? There it is.
The sounds.
The scenes statement.
Yeah, Statement, not the scenes.
Question.
Question. Statement. Yep, that's the way we have to do everything now. Statement.
Oh man. Yes. Oh, what a week. What a week, guys. What a week. Now, do we want to start with then the sad news to each, and then we can go up from there? So do we want to begin with Chuck?
Yeah.
Which is fitting somehow, I think.
Yeah.
And then we can kind of, because that's bring everyone down, and then we'll bring them all back up again with from there. What do you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. Sad news. Passing of Chuck Norris last week. I found out in a weird way. I got a text from Todd Anderson. He texts me and Mikey Schramm with a I don't know, like a meme or something. It was a meme or a GIF, I think, or something like that, or a GIF, whatever you want to call it. And it was of Chuck Norris.
Peanut butter,
right?
Was it? That's very strange.
Yeah, it was of Chuck Norris, and at the time, I didn't know what had happened, so I just reacted like, "Oh, he sent me a clip from Delta Force," and it was like, he's like, and then Mikey replies to it. He's like, "Legend, I heard he could gargle peanut butter," and I'm like, "Okay," and it's like, "That's nice." I was busy at work and I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening to news, not paying attention.
Yeah.
So I hadn't seen anything. So I'm like, okay, Chuck Norris. Yeah, he's awesome. Great. Okay, keep going. And then I get online, like I'm just getting done with work and I get online. I'm like, oh, that's why he sent that. Right. So then I on my way home, I'm like, all right, I got to get some Chuck Norris stuff. And I gotta, I want to watch some Chuck Norris stuff because, it's like the passing of Chuck Norris. It's like, I want to do this. So I'm like, I know I have some movies and everybody knows I'm in the process. I'm in between homes right now. So all my stuff is scattered everywhere, but I knew I had boxes and boxes of my old Blu-rays. And I go and I'm like, I go to the house and I put these at the actual house that we're building. And I go down the stairs and I look and I'm like, all right, there's the boxes. And I walk over to them and they're all labeled on one side of them, like A to like F. And then the last movie will be listed there in case the next movie is F, whatever could fit in there. Right. So it's the whole thing's organized and alphabetized. And so I get to the bottom of the stairs and I look at these boxes in here and I'll put them up on the screen. And I'm like, there they are. I'm like, so I start to move the boxes to look along the side of them. And lo and behold, look at what's right on the top. And that's not even what I saw because I was so concentrating on getting into the boxes. I didn't see what's sitting on the top of the boxes. And these boxes have been sitting there since I moved them there in August.
Yeah.
And there he is, Delta Force, and right under his code of silence. And I also have Missing in Action and Missing in Action 2. And I was like, are you kidding me? They're sitting there right on the top. So grabbed them, came home and watched them. And I was like sitting down, watching them and thinking about them. I was thinking like, is he the first? Is he the beginning of the 80s icon? Before Schwarzenegger, before Stallone. And he was like, we look at Bruce Willis as like the everyman that countered Schwarzenegger and Stallone, but now it's like you forget, and sadly, it's only in this time that you appreciate it and go, wait a minute, because Chuck Norris he was legit karate champion, 6 years, something like that, retired, undefeated, all that.
He's a
So
true
you
martial
never considered him an everyman, but he was never the comic book build like Schwarzenegger and Stallone and even Van Damme becomes, and it's, so it's like, is he, because he came from the 70s and he come obviously with, Bruce Lee and everything like that. But then the action star that he became outside of his martial arts, it's like, is he the founder of the 80s action movie?
Ooh, I think with Chuck Norris though, and again, obviously, I don't mean to denigrate him. I mean, he's a huge guy, and he just has been some amazing movies. But I don't think he ever quite hit the A list, as in $20-30 million a movie. You can,
right?
He never quite crossed into that threat. He could never, Delta Force. I mean, his biggest time would have been what? Invasion USA, Delta Force, Missing in Action 1 and 2. Those were his heydays, and those were the canon. I mean, funny,
Right.
Ninja Season Deej. I mean, they were all released by Canon, so as were these movies. So I don't think he ever quite hit the A, sort of the AAA movies. So I still would say that's Schwarzenegger and Stallone for me. And again, personally,
right. But here's where I would counter that. But
Yeah.
here's where I would counter that.
Hmm.
Just because if his are a notch down from like they're A's and these are B's, his are B's.
Yeah, it's fair.
But his came first. That's why I'm saying, like, just because, like, so put it this way, like every father wants his son to grow up and do it better than he did.
Yeah.
Every generation.
Mm-hmm.
Is Chuck Norris the father of the 80s action movies? And then they went on and did it bigger and better. Because literally Mission Impossible, I keep calling it that. Missing in Action is literally Rambo First Blood Part 2 a year earlier.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? And then like Stallone takes that story, twists it a little, takes the political part.
James Cameron that wrote it, of course.
Which one?
First Blood Part 2. James Cameron wrote that.
Right, but it's I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
He wrote it. Yeah, it's on the credits. It's on the
regardless of that, it's like, look at Missing in Action. It's the same thing. He goes back.
Yeah, it is
for a different reason, but it's like he goes back now. Now you take Stallone. He's bigger than Chuck was a year earlier. The set pieces are bigger. The explosions are bigger, more dynamic. Everything is bigger, more dynamic. But it's basically the same movie.
Yeah.
Trimmed down. They take the political mumbo jumbo out of the beginning, right? And they just take Stallone, Rambo out of prison and drop him into Vietnam. This one here, you have Braddock's got to go to Vietnam, be accused, blah, 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 and then make the decision himself to go back and do all this and be that guy. It's like, but all the action pieces are like, okay, Stallone, they see that, they write it, they do it. Okay, bigger, better, faster. Here we go. And it's like, and then you go with, Invasion USA. It's just another action version of, there are all these things that are action versions of, like we said, Die Hard is, yes, because it's the first one. Now you have, Under Siege is Die Hard on a boat. Another thing, nobody could better it. But in this case, I would say like Chuck Norris took all like these movies, like people saw, I feel like people saw his movies earlier and went, there's a market here. And then they, the big action stars were born from there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until now that I'm starting to see it. And because you're looking at the dates when all these came out and it's like, oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah. They were certainly all within that, 83 to 86, 87 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. Look, Way of the Dragon was in the 70s. I mean, he was awesome in that.
Yes.
I still think that's certainly one of the best fight scenes of Bruce Lee. So there's no doubt of his impact, but he never quite, I don't think, just tipped over into that AAA. And I think he was bigger in the US than he was over here, and I think in certain parts of the world he was huge in the US, and rightly so. So I think he just he could well have been the progenitor of the 80s, beefcake, big budget, high concept action movies.
Yeah.
He could. I mean, the guy was incredible. And again, what I thought you were going to say, Deej, is what kind of hit home to me. And even as someone who really likes Chuck Norris, but I wouldn't have said I'm his biggest fan. I don't own Delta Force. I've seen it many times. I don't own Mission in Action 1 and 2. And in fact, the only two I've got, Way of the Dragon, and I have got the one that's over your right shoulder. But those are the only Chuck Norris movies that I own or that I've got. But what I thought you were going to say, and what did hit home, is he certainly was one of that band of action stars around that time, and he's the first one of that group to go. And I don't know about you, Deej. I mean, obviously, as we get older, you start to realize your mortality. But he's the first of Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Bruce Willis is still with us. I know obviously he's not very unwell, but And so if that, where's blind guy when we need him, Dave's kind of,
Yeah, I know.
but it's that reminder of these people who were our heroes as kids, our cinematic heroes, are mortal and they're getting older, and the inevitable is going to happen, and that's what sort of shocked me a bit, I must admit.
Absolutely.
You just think these guys will go on forever, in our ignorance.
But
still, so it's a real shame. But there we go.
Jordan saying Chuck Norris was incredibly fun in The Expendables too,
telling his own jokes as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
His own. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen it for ages, but yeah.
He had the one scene in the movie, and it's like, and I feel like it's a nod at everything that we're saying. Like he came before everybody, because in that scene you have like it's Stallone and his crew they're pinned down. They can't handle all of the gunfire, all of the people that are like attacking them, and next thing you know, like including a tank. Everything is taken out, and then the tank is blown up, and everybody's like, what happened? Where did that come from? And one guy comes walking down the street, and it's like, and Stallone goes, all right, don't panic, everybody.
You're in trouble.
And he walks out, and it's Chuck Norris, of course, and they're like, how you doing? And he's like, and then he asks them to join them, basically join, and everybody, and when you first saw this in the theater, it's like, yeah, he's gonna be part of this. And then Chuck Norris goes, no, I work alone.
Yeah,
he takes off and wanders back off into the sunset. And it's like, that's Chuck Norris. It's like, I mean, it's just, I mean, the jokes going around, like him telling the jokes and stuff. It's just, I mean, I watched a bunch of them on Twitter. And him reading them made him like, even he was laughing at some of them, like, oh my god.
Yeah, he's doing his cameo videos, and he was coming out with his own then as well, which is very cool.
Yeah.
No, it's a real shame. It really is. And again, I fear, in the not too distant future, there's going to be another lot. I think Chuck's going to be the first one, and then there's going to be a slew of them in the next 5 years or so.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough for us who, as I say, we grew up with these guys as heroes.
Yeah.
And okay, they look older now. And so when you then see that, it's tough. It's tough to take.
That's what's funny is you don't even realize how old Chuck Norris really was too. It's
he
just passed it at 87, 86.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And or he just had his birthday, something like that. He just celebrated his birthday. But then when you look back and you look at some of his action movies, and he's like right around the age we are now. Or even like in the 80s, he was into his 40s, like late 30s or into his 40s, almost 50. And you're like, he's doing these movies that we look back on. And I'm like, he's not much younger than we are right now. And you're like, oh my God, which is kind of encouraging. It's sad because you're like, oh my God, Chuck Norris passed away. And you're like, wow, look how much life I have in front of me. What was he doing that long ago? You're like, all right, that's kind of encouraging. But
I've got time.
Yeah,
I can do that.
I can make a couple action movies. Oh God. Yeah.
So it is a shame. And, again, I always lean on Kevin Smith in this, a big bucket of win. He was awesome, and fair play to him. And it's very sad. But we've got his movies, and we can watch them when we want to. And I'm going to rewatch Way of the Dragon. That is my favorite one.
Yeah. Did you know that
hairiest chest in the world?
Did you? Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Did you hear the story on that when Bruce Lee he asked Chuck Norris for that fight sequence because he wanted the most realistic and the best fight sequence, and the first question Chuck Norris said, "Can I win?" Bruce Lee's like, "No." He's like, all right, well, it's going to last a while then. You got to make it look like I can fight back.
That's the thing. Yeah, you can kick my ass a bit, but no, I'm going to win. And then I think in one of the interviews I saw this week, that one of the a little bit cheekily of the journalists, but they're always after an angle, aren't they?
I think I know what you're saying.
Said to Chuck Norris and said, "Oh, what do you think of Bruce Lee? Do you think he would have made it as a martial art? What was he like?" And very tactfully, but Chuck then says, "Well, he was an incredible martial artist, but he never fought in the ring."
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
He goes, like, "Yeah, okay, but I get that. Yeah, fine."
Yep. Yeah. He said he goes, he's great, but it's different when you're getting punched too. He goes,
Yeah, when
punching
they're
bags
back.
don't punch back. And he's like, when you're in the ring, it's a different thing. It's like, so I don't know how true that is. I'm sure Bruce Lee had been in fights. I'm sure he'd been punched.
Yeah, well, yeah, but not in a
Not
professional
like,
fight.
it's
It's a
fighter,
different
but-
discipline, isn't it? It's a completely
Yes.
different thing. Because if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
training someone, or you're in a street fight, it's a very different thing to getting in the ring with a professional fighter. I mean, it's a different world, and we've all seen those videos online of some idiot from YouTube, present company excluded, obviously. some idiot on YouTube, turns up in a dojo or a boxing, gym and goes, oh, I could take you guys on, and gets into the ring with a professional fighter who's like, really? Are you sure? Bang, down. I mean, it's a different world.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's things that can't be accounted for, and unfortunately, a lot of times it's ignorance. It's a lot of times people. They like Chuck Norris said, you don't know, like, until you're getting punched too, you don't know, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah. What was that? Everyone was it Mike Tyson that said everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. Bang. Oh, it's like,
okay,
that hurt. That hurt. It's like, it's, oh my god. It's when I was doing it, I remember after the first time I literally boxed. And I was like, oh my God. And it's like, and at that point, I had been punched in the face before that. So I wasn't afraid of getting punched in the face. But just
outfit.
But I really defined like the idea of like the sweet science and everything behind it. And it's because it's like chess, because you have to think moves ahead. It's like, all right, I'm going to do this. But every time you take an offensive action, it opens you up to something, so you have to be ready for them. Like, what if they see that coming? So like, while you're standing there, you're like, and it's not that you're afraid. And that's the funny thing, is like, when you watch real boxers or fighters or anything, they're not afraid to get hit, they're afraid to lose. So if you make the wrong move and like one punch and you could be knocked out, I don't care how tough you are. If somebody tags you right, you're going down and you're going to sleep. You don't know. So it's like, it's all about that. And you're like, oh. And then on top of it, your shoulders are getting tired. It's so crazy that, that's a perfect way of putting it. It's like, you don't know until you have a great plan, until you get punched on the face.
Yeah, it's one of Tyson's best quotes. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
So man, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face.
Yep. Absolutely.
So R.I.P. Chuck.
Wrap up, Chuck. I'd like to say the best quote I saw, best Chuckism, came from United States Marines tweeted out a tribute to him, and they said, Chuck Norris didn't apply to the Marines applied to Chuck Norris. So I thought that was cool. So
yeah, man, very cool, very cool. So R.I.P. Chuck. R.I.P.
Yep.
Very sad.
All right.
But there we go. All right. Well, shall I say hi to everyone in the chat, Deej?
Yeah, let's talk to the living now.
Yes. We don't need a Ouija board for this.
Irish humor. There we go.
Oh,
all right.
Hell yeah. All right. So TSG was in. Local Boy was in earlier. I'm not sure if he's still in. It was a little while back. So hey, TSG, if you're still in, Steve At's in the chat. And Rach dropped in as well. Hey, Rach, how you doing? And Captain AC3's in. Hey, Captain, my captain. Van Gool's in. Hey, Jay. Good to see you, mate.
Some Jay.
Marcus B said says something I can't quote, but Marcus is in. Hey, Marcus. Holger's in. Hey, Holger. And Marcus is in again. Thanks, guys, by the way, everyone, for joining in, because it is an unusual day for us. So,
unusual day on time. It's not even the same show anymore.
No, exactly. Yeah, people don't know what's going on. Michael Piantidosi's in as well. Hey, buddy. He's in. Jordan's in as well. Hey, Jordan. And I know Jordan watched Ben-Hur earlier today and was blown away, like we all are, and were with it. Yeah. Although, interestingly, by the way, these John Thompson was the first to tell me this. So in the UK, they released Ben-Hur way late. So you're talking Monday, just gone, and it's been out there for ages, as we know. And he went to buy it at his local store and was told they'd all been recalled.
Yeah.
And they've been recalled because they put the Blu-ray thing on the top, and there was no Blu-ray in there.
Oh, okay. So it's not quality of the 4K or anything.
Well, this is the thing. Yes, literally. So, we didn't know initially, but that's what it is. Yeah. So they're all being now recalled and discs put into them. So very strange. But anyway, So yeah, so and someone new, Isabella. Hi, Isabella. So
Oh,
good
okay.
to see you.
Isabella
Yeah,
Gandhi.
nice to see you. Yeah.
Z2D.
So yeah, thanks for dropping in. John Mensor's in as well. Hey, John.
Mm-hmm.
Dom's in. Bonsoir, Dom. How you doing, bud? And I saw a couple of others as well. Oh yeah, an old school kung fu films is in. Saying R.I.P. Chuck. Yeah, good man. Those of us that have been fans of the the martial arts movies forever, really felt it. So I get that. And yeah, everyone's in. Oh yeah, TSG, still here. Just said he's just finished his movie and back in the chat.
Nice.
So there we go. So yeah, so again, thanks everyone for tuning in. Anyone, as we always say, who is tuning in first time or didn't want to say hello previously, feel free, please do, to say hi. We're still hoping. We've got our fingers crossed for Penguins. It's a matter of time. And until that time, anyone else should say hi. Oh, and Eli Judias is in as well. Hola, buenos días.
Oh, nice.
Buenas tardes, should I say?
Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
Right.
No, I
said good morning, but it's good evening.
With that stuff. Let's see.
So yeah, okay. So what we going on to then, Deej? What we going to start with now?
I don't know. Like, what do you? I'm like, there's so much. Do you want to start with which of you have a lot with your meet and greets? What do you want to do?
Should we do the BAFTA thing? Should we do that one?
Let me
start
see
with the little. Have you got the pictures
grab
there?
the pictures for that.
Yeah, we'll start it with the coaster, and then I can, if that's all right, we'll just rattle through there. They're all in there anyway.
That's me.
Should be all the ones after that. But while you're trying to find those, I'll set the scene then. So I was in London yesterday.
Oh, you sent the. I'm sorry, you're right. I thought you texted those to me. I'm looking in the wrong
I've added
spot.
them. They're in there. We go. They're in there.
All right. Is there a special order you want to go in with
the circle one? Where the circle top, right on the top line across that one there. That one.
So start with that.
Yeah. So I'll set the scene. So I was in London yesterday, and I had been asked to go and meet some people, which I did. But earlier in the day, I had texted John Thompson, and said to John, I'm going to be in London, and whenever I'm in London, John always makes time to meet up, which is great. And he, a couple of years or so ago, he had promised to take me to lunch at BAFTA HQ. So this is the British Academy, essentially. It's the British Academy of Film and Televisual Arts, so it's the English Oscars. And we didn't do it then because I was there on a night time, and so we couldn't do it then. And so we agreed to meet yesterday at 1:00, but he did not say lunch. Crucially, he said, we'll meet at 1:00. And so I didn't realize that was lunch. So I'd had my lunch.
Oh, God.
So I'd eaten. And then John turns up and he goes, we're going to BAFTA for lunch. And I'm like, okay, I've had my lunch. But I didn't want to turn him down. So anyway, we went to BAFTA, which was close to where we had met. And I've never been into there before. It's members only, and membership is not easy to get. And in we went. And so we went in for lunch. And on top of BAFTA HQ in London, I now know they have built a restaurant. And then it's all kind of open, and you'll see the pictures in a minute. And we walk into this restaurant, and there's probably 300 maybe people there, maybe a bit more.
Oh,
and
wow.
We walk in, and immediately, and I have told John this, I suffered sensory overload. Okay? Because I'm sure you do what I did, which is the second I walk into the British Academy of Film and Televisual Arts I am scanning every single face in that restaurant to see if there's anyone I recognize. Right?
Right. Yeah.
Everyone. And of course, it's sensory overload because you're trying to do it and not do it.
More importantly, did anybody recognize you?
Not that I'm aware of. No. I mean, no one said it's Jason Statham or anything like that, which was very disappointing.
You tried so hard.
Yeah. So
every opportunity he's doing the flag thing on any pole he walks by.
Yeah. Trying to get someone's daughter kidnapped so I can go and save the day, because all of his movies are the same movie, aren't they? Really?
Yeah.
So we sit down and just keep swimming. No giant sharks. So I was trying to look at everybody and talk to John, and John knew I was doing this, so I said to him,
"Oh, of course."
And I'm like, I'm trying to see if there's anyone famous, and I thought I saw someone I knew. And John's
just hanging out with John Thompson wasn't enough.
Well, hey man, he is famous in his own right, but he's good as gold because he knows what I'm like.
So
and he
funny.
said to me, he said, funny you should say that. He said, that's the producer of the Harry Potter movies right there. And I'm like, okay, I don't watch those. So anyway, so we're trying to do it. So
Is there anybody in here with horror?
Yeah, anyone famous? Come on. Well, but the thing is,
it's John Carpenter in the house.
Yeah. Well, I said to John, "Who's the most famous person you've seen in here?" And then casually he said Steven Spielberg. And I'm like, right, okay, yeah. But having said that,
who's more famous than that?
Well, quite. And having thought about it, I actually realized it was a good thing. There was no one in there that was ultra famous, because it's an industry place. They're working, they're having meetings and everything.
Right.
And I think some idiot going up to them and going, "I love you, you're great, can I have a photo?" would have been very embarrassing. So, and I'm sure I would have been told to go forth and multiply using Anglo-Saxon
and
verbiage.
you and I know what that's like, and we
it
go
happens
out
to me all the
it's
time.
Tough.
It's
tough. Yeah, you try to have
them off with a
lunch.
stick. But it was an amazing place, and I have to say the staff were fantastic. And John introduced me to like the guy that runs all this stuff, and he's a really nice guy, and they were lovely. So we had lunch, and then as we're doing that, and I had one thing of fries, because it's about the only thing I thought I could eat, because I was not hungry at all.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to not eat. And as we're doing that, John says, "Well, when we've finished, do you want to go and see the screening rooms?" I said, "I'll give you a tour." And I'm like, "Yeah, cool. Sounds good." So afterwards, we then went down into the basement, and BAFTA HQ has a number of screening rooms. One of which is a big one, which is the one we're going to talk about. So, and the other thing was, in the restaurant, I was trying to take photos, but of course it's not really done. So I had to take them quite surreptitiously. So no one was saying you can't take them, but it's clear that
But
you're not
you
really
want to be
supposed
cool. Act like you've been there.
Indeed, absolutely. So the photo I took is the first one we'll show here, which is of a coaster.
Oh God.
God, yeah, go on then. So at least you know it's BAFTA. So yes, you can see the BAFTA logo on there, so you know I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
So that was my surreptitious, and you can see my leg in that shot. I took it so quickly. You can see
down here. That's your jeans. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So I got a bit braver, and then I took the next one. So that's the restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's really nice. This has all been built on top of the old building, and you've got this big sort of conservatory glass roof. And it's really, really cool. Nice. And again, you can see people there. They're all having script meetings and everything else. There were people reading script stuff on their laptops. So that's John's jacket. John had gone to the toilet at this point.
Oh, so you got this person over here looking at you going, somebody's taking pictures.
Yeah, I didn't get kicked out, which was very cool. So I took it very quickly. So then, as I say, we went down into the basement, and that's when we got to the super cool stuff. Right, so look at this. So BAFTA's at 195 Piccadilly. That's its address. This is the main screening room. All right, and it's only available to BAFTA members. Now look at the back of the seat, Steve. So what they were doing here, as we walked in, we had to get someone to let us in because they were calibrating the projectors. Okay, so and when I say they, it was a projectionist called Angus, very nice guy. And so, but they allowed us in, and he said straight away, look at the backs of all the seats, so you can see that every seat has a sign on it. And that's because every seat is sponsored by someone that's a BAFTA member. And we'll come to some of those in a minute, and I'll show you them because I took a picture of the back of some. Because the projectionist guy, this guy Angus, said there's one everybody wants to sit in, and he found it. He said I've got to find it, and he found it for me, and I've got a picture, and we'll talk about it in a minute. So this is the screening, and they have screenings every night apparently. And this is a Dolby cinema. In the basement of BAFTA. It's one of the very few in the UK, and it's the whole thing. And again, I'll tell you more about it in a minute. So
every theater should be in the basement.
Well, I mean, this could be the best home cinema in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool. So moving on to the next one then, D. So then we go across the thing and then into the thing. So that's John Thompson, obviously in front and center. And that's Angus. That's the projectionist behind him.
That's when he's standing up and not laying on corkboard.
Yeah, well, indeed, yes, indeed, yeah. So we then went into that room behind him, and this guy, by the way, Angus, I mean, he's there calibrating away, and yet he was so good to us. He said, come on in, have a look. And so the next picture is the one that is the one that's going to be awesome. So I don't know if you can zoom in on the sign just above that red button, Deej. Can you see that? So can you zoom up top? Keep going up, right. See Christie. What it says there, the C word? Christie.
Yeah.
And there are two of them.
Yeah.
They are one above the other. They're literally above the other, and behind it, and I didn't get a picture of it. There is like there's like a, like Rambo. Obviously, we talked in First Blood. It's got the kind of the bandoliers, right?
Yeah.
These have got two Christie projectors on top of one another, and they've got these sort of bandolier things, which means they can feed between the two.
Okay.
And what he was saying is, so this is for Dolby Vision, for 3D. And they run the two on top of one another, and this is how they do them. And he was calibrating them as we speak. So Christie projectors. I mean, I dread to think the cost of these.
Oh my god.
And there are two.
One's not two of them. Yeah, piggybacked.
Incredible stuff. So we have a chat there. So we then moved back into the theater then, and that's when he said, "Oh, have a look at the backs of these seats." So here's one I just grabbed really quickly when I didn't think he was looking. So this one then is sponsored and endowed by Warner Brothers. And as I was taking the photo, he said, right, there is one here that everybody wants to see, and that's the next one. So that's along the lines. And then the next one is this one. And this is the one apparently everybody wants to sit in. And if you've seen Bridget Jones's Diary, you'll know why.
Okay.
Can you zoom in on that, Deej? Can you zoom on that a little bit? Yeah. So that says, in loving memory of Colin Firth, not dead yet, but looks it. Sponsored by Hugh Grant.
That's great.
That's the one that apparently everybody wants to sit in.
Look at the screws on it, though. How worn they are. Do they like take the seats out and wash them or something? Like, why are they like?
I would never be surprised, each, because it's immaculate. I mean, these things, it's just beautiful cinema. And so I'm trying to think the next picture then. So the next one then. The next picture on next slide, please. So that will show you can see the BAFTA logo on the back of every seat. Yeah. I mean, it's full Dolby Atmos, all that stuff. By the way, Deej, right? I was kicking myself afterwards, and I'll tell you why. Because the projectionist was so cool and so friendly. I should have said to him, can I just plug my phone in and got the Brightside logo on that screen?
Oh my God.
I was kicking myself. I thought, why didn't I ask? He was so cool. How cool would that have been?
That would have been awesome. Yeah.
So idiot. So I should have done it. That's got, by the way, 4-way masking on there. And he was saying we can do it live, we can do it as we go, we can change it as we go, we can do anything that you want with that. So very, very cool. Wow. And so as we then came out of that screen, there's then a couple of plaques here. So here we go. Yeah, the principal supporters. So that may not terribly clear. That's my terrible photography. So we've got the Walt Disney Studios,
NBC, Universal, Warner Brothers.
And so all that stuff there, and then obviously that, and then the next one, which is the real one, this one here, then, with thanks to Steven Spielberg for his generous support of the projection room. That's all awesome. That stuff was put there by Steven Spielberg.
Really? He put all the stuff in it?
He's paid for, as I understand it, everything. Now, bear in mind, 2 Christie projectors.
Yeah.
So, when he was there that day, he obviously spent quite a bit of money. It wasn't just on lunch.
Exactly.
But this place was absolutely amazing. It's one of the best cinemas I've ever seen. And I have John has said next time we're there, we will see a screening, and we'll go and see one on an evening. So it would be very, very cool. And bear in mind, we happen to know that John has possession of a particularly huge Disney movie, which is coming out very soon.
Yeah, we do.
I would have plug your phone in, John.
Yeah, exactly. So this year, next time you're going back, or I should tell John, be like, I'll take this logo. The BAFTA at 195 Piccadilly, I'll take that logo and put our logo on it, and then you put it up there, so then it'll that's what it'll look like. But then you throw on our logo right above the T and the A diagonally, it's there you go, right side home. That would look so cool on that screen.
Which is just, I mean,
it'd be so funny
plugging it in, because that's just a.
I mean, I could do it right now with Photoshop, but it's more fun when it's real. When it actually happened in the building.
But what a place!
Awesome.
And this is all underneath, smack bang in the middle of London, right at the busiest part of London. And this place is you wouldn't even know it was there. It's incredible. This is literally, Deej, a basement. I mean, no ifs, buts, or maybes. That's what that is. And I mean,
That's a
what
big
a
hole in
world.
the ground.
It is a big hole in the ground. It is. Well, what a
I'm
cool
just
thing
looking
to
at
do
the
with that hole in
stairs,
the
like
ground.
basements are supposed to be like the part of the house that's under the ground, and like just look at these stairs going down. It's like keep
Yeah.
digging. No, keep digging. Keep digging. We're not there yet.
And
You,
if
you
you
do
think
realize
how-
England's an island, right? We're gonna get hit water eventually
Well,
here.
this is the thing. Well, bear in mind London with its waterways and everything else. I
Yeah.
mean, there have been shows where people have built houses, dug down to put a basement in, and then hit water. Hit the
Yeah,
water
that's why you
table.
can't. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
well, quite. So this is smack bang in the middle
well,
of
you
London. if
can. There's a
think-
technology to get rid of it, but that's
Yeah.
expensive. It's like for
Oh
a
yeah.
theater.
So, but what a place! So it's
Oh,
so
that's
cool,
awesome.
and I can't wait to get back in there and actually check out a film in it.
Yeah.
Because you're sat in the seat of famous people that have sponsored these seats, that have been in these seats, and I mean, just
Yeah.
so cool. And there were some, as I said, there were a couple of other little smaller screening rooms which I didn't get photos of because they were kind of like a home cinema. Once I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
this, I'm like, oh my god,
Oh my god. Yeah.
yeah. So what a cool trip, and it was fantastic. And I thanked John profusely
Oh,
for doing
yeah.
that. But I did say to him, next time I won't eat lunch first, and then we can have a proper lunch and then a proper trip
Yeah.
into BAFTA. But so cool. Sorry, TSG said, how big's that screen? Really big. Really big.
Really
TSG.
big. Yeah,
I
it's
didn't have a tape measure.
yeah, that screen I just by what you said, that's
Yeah,
not the
huge.
screen that they show.
No,
That's like
that's just the-
that's going to expand. It's the four-way masking, it's going to come down and then
Yeah.
out. So that probably take like and we're really going to talk about this stuff later on because I have a lot of information about stuff that happened.
So
this
that's
weekend,
just
so.
their presentation screen. That's all that is. And I mean, they were calibrating, as I say. And again, Angus, who was the projectionist there, I mean, if he ever listens to that, I mean, he was such a patient chap with all my questions. Bearing in mind, he was there to do a job. He's trying to calibrate this screen, and there's us messing about, and the audio because he had his laptop all there. So patient and so willing to chat, and also as all good home theater people would be, was really pleased to show it off. He just look at all this, just like we would. As I said with John there, I said to DJ would just have a field day with all the color coded wires, DJ, all labeled, all perfectly
Yeah.
very,
Like,
very cool. I mean,
all
you
that,
can see there, but I should have taken a photo of the bandoliers behind them, which is what they were connected via, and they just look so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was
That's
some
awesome.
serious kit. And again, if you go to the one before that, the one with John in, you can kind of get an idea of the amount of kit that's there. All this, on the right hand side there's a floor to ceiling kind of bank of various things.
Yeah.
Plus all the other kit. I mean, they've got a mixing board there as well. You can see to the right of the chair there.
Yeah.
Full
Oh
mixing
yeah, in
board
this
there.
area here.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool. So
But do
I
do
was,
they have a Roadcaster too? I mean, I don't
no, they've
see
got
that.
Rodecaster 3. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
John looks good. John looks
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah.
John looks good.
He was,
It's like, yeah.
he was being great. He was
looking
being
good.
great, sort of showing me and taking the time to show it off to me as well. Hey,
Yeah.
Deej, maybe they'll let us do the 25-hour show from there.
Oh my God. Oh man. Yeah. From
Oh, I'm not even. They were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
You're
can
giving
dream.
away
We
some
can dream.
secrets, like the ideas that we have. Oh my God. Yeah. Places. Oh,
Yeah.
just
But it's
do a
something-
show. Just do a show, period.
Yeah. Oh, just
Do a
yeah,
show.
just-
Yeah.
absolutely
Anyway.
awesome. So TSG says, how often does he have to do it? They do it, I think, weekly. It's an ongoing thing. Bear in mind that this is where the filmmakers come to show other filmmakers and industry professionals
Screens.
their movies.
Screenings. Yeah.
So it's the best of the best of the best of the best. They
Yeah.
well, fun enough, it is Spielberg, so spared no expense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's,
that's one of the
you know.
things. Like, think about that though. Spielberg's putting together this theater for BAFTA. He goes to Christie. Do you think he pays Christie, or does Christie go? It's Christie's name. They were like, absolutely, we'll send you 2 projectors.
How many would you like, Mr. Spielberg?
Exactly. How many would you like, Mr. S? It's like, so it's it's stuff like that, or that's the funny thing is like when you get that kind of celebrity, when you can pay, you don't have to anymore.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Yet, Steve, you and I have not reached that yet.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. We do.
Yeah,
And actually, to be fair, we are that. We get gifts all the time. We get stuff like, I'm like, no, let me do it. No. I got what? Okay. So, and we appreciate that, but it's like,
the
we don't
fact that
get
I was
Christie
there at all.
projectors.
Well, quite. Yeah. But the fact that I was there at all, I'm not a BAFTA member.
No,
So that was a gift in and of itself.
Exactly. And it's like the world that's been exposed to us for being like, donkeys in a basement, as I say.
Yeah. Well,
like,
absolutely. And it was occurring to me every second that I was in there, Deej, every single second in that building, going up and down and looking at all the stuff that was there.
Yeah.
Again, thinking like, how am I here? Like, how is this kind of like, what a funny road that this takes us on? It's so cool. And again, all because of the show and because of an interest in home theater and just
common interests.
Yeah.
Common interests. And then
awesome.
And just people like, I mean, you think about the show we're doing tomorrow and the exposure that we're getting. It's like, and that's why, like, just to tell like the listeners, like, you think it just like you saying like, oh, how cool would it be to get our logo up on that screen? And the reason you're kicking yourself is because in our experience, that is a 100% possible, because everybody has been so accommodating to us. And if they weren't, he would have been like, oh, I'm in the middle. I can't do it right now, but maybe this, they never would be like, what are you, nuts? Who do you think you are? We don't hear that. When by all rights, we should.
Well, quite. Yeah, absolutely.
But everybody is so accommodating. Like, tomorrow's show is like the epitome of accommodation. It's like, we got an idea, we want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And everybody comes together and goes, absolutely, this is great. I can't wait. And it's like, I mean, peek behind the curtain. We had a meeting the other day about tomorrow's show, and we had to like rein everybody. We just wanted to do the show then.
We nearly did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was
indeed. Yeah.
It's everybody is so accommodating, and like, you can go into a place like this, Steve, and walk out going, I could have done anything. Everybody loves this. Everybody's so accommodating. Everybody's so nice to us. And I do think it's, if you'd gone up to any of those people, like John could have introduced you to anybody in that restaurant, in that room. And I feel like 95% of those people would have been like, oh, they appreciate us. Home theater people, not general public. I'm not saying that. I'm saying home theater people. And I can only go by all of the audio commentaries that we heard. And I always sum it up with, Ron Howard. And it's like, we're not just starstruck people like, oh my God, you did this. No, we come at them with knowledge like, oh my God, I love what you did here. And we're trying to duplicate what you do at home. And they appreciate that stuff. So I mean, that's why, and we get that back and forth. It's amazing. It really is.
I mean, it is crazy, this journey, isn't it? The places it takes us, and I mean, hell, maybe sat here now, D, just not my show.
Oh, it is now. It's our show now. It's like I'm Steve. I'm Chuck Norris. I started it. You and John came on and bettered it. Okay,
man.
There you go.
Right, so
you and John are Stallone and Schwarzenegger. I'm Chuck Norris over here.
Which is which? Who are we? Come on.
Exactly. I had an idea, and here we go. So that's it.
I mean, surely I'll have to be Bruce Willis, surely.
Oh, all right. Now, let's see. Do we want to get to your next meeting?
So
it's all one picture of this one.
Yeah. So one of the things I did while I was in London, and I was able to do, is meet some folks. And a couple of people that we know.
Just a couple.
A couple of people.
Just
yeah.
a couple.
So I was able to then meet up with two awesome people. One is Paul Hurt, of course, who we know from the chat and from our Patreon stuff, and then the other, Mr. Todd Anderson himself, who was in London, and we were able to kind of get together as well. We snapped that picture afterwards. So yes, we got to hang out and have a really good chat, and it was great. And both of them were very cool because they were both exhausted because they both Todd had been filming and Paul had been doing the filming.
Yeah.
They'd had a really long day, and Todd had had a long couple of days.
Yeah.
And yet still we hung out, and yeah, man, it was very, very cool. And swapped all kinds of stories, none of which I can repeat on air.
No.
But it was really cool, and both guys are awesome, and I'm shorter than them both, as you can see.
That's what I was going with. So you and I are probably about the same height.
I'm 5'11", you're 6 foot, aren't you?
Roughly, yeah, 5'11", 6 feet. Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah,
we're about the same height.
Yeah,
and because if you see the pictures of me, I'm shorter than Todd, and that's the first thing I thought of. Because when you do this, you meet people, and then you meet them in real life. You're like, oh, they're either taller, shorter. Or you're like, oh, okay. And you remember the picture of me, Todd, Brett, and Travis, and I'm the little guy. I'm in the middle, like, hello. It's like I look like Harry Potter. Like, what happened to that little guy there? And they're just big guys. And then obviously Paul falls into that camp too.
Yeah, he's quite. I mean,
Paul's looking good. How's he feeling?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, really, really good. He was on great form. And he met me first because we were later than kind of we thought we were going to be, because they were late back with the train and the traffic and everything else. And so Todd was exhausted, but had to pop back to the hotel to get some stuff. And then so it was Paul and I, met each other first, and then Todd came through. But yeah, man, they are both awesome people. And it was really, really good. And yeah, Paul is on the mend. He's doing okay. Funnily enough, we were talking basements, Deej, about flooding and problems with basements and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, no, it was great. And as I said, I'm not going to repeat any of the stuff that we talked about, but it was great, and they are awesome guys. And again, only because of this show, very, very cool. So yeah, it was a nice, very pleasant trip to London. And awesome. had a really good time. So yeah, it was very cool.
I woke up this morning to this this picture twice. You sent it to me, Todd sent it. and also Todd sent some other pictures, and of stuff that he'd been filming. Yeah. And I was like, oh, did you tell Paul you're going there? Because I knew, because I got this picture first. And he goes, Paul's filming. I was like, oh, awesome. He goes, he's got quite a rig. He's like, I don't know what I'd do without him here. And he goes, I hope all the filming comes out, like all of his stuff. Because did I ever tell you, or did he ever tell you that one? Where he did a whole segment at Cedia one year with his phone. This is a few years ago. He did. So he had a setup before with his phone. And like I said, this is like 2 or 3 years ago. And he had a whole rig, like a frame and everything, and his phone was in it. And he'd sit down, or not sit down, but he'd set it up. And if you've ever seen him at Cedia, you can say, like, he's a one-man show. If you ever run into him in public, he's going to be tired because he works so hard. If he's up and awake, he's working. So when you get to meet him or run into him, he's going to be like, I got this much time, and he's exhausted. And he's usually going to something else. If not, he's going to bed. But if you see him, and I've seen him on the Cedia floor, and I'll walk by and I'll wave. And even that I don't do a lot because it's distracting. He might be talking and interviewing somebody, right? But so anyway, so he'll have his tripod. He'll have his whole setup. It's a whole rig, a one-man show that he sets up and does it. And he told me that he did this whole thing. He sets his phone there, does like a 15, 20-minute interview, and then realizes like 2 minutes into it, somebody texted him. So it shut the recording off on his phone. So he had nothing. He's like, oh, no. Now what do? You got to go. It's like, that's a horror show. But Apple has since changed that. It doesn't stop the recording and stuff. But it's like, those are one of those things. And it's like, when you're starting out, like he was, it's like, you don't have enough money for all this separate gear. You don't have all this stuff. So you're like, I can do it. And you see the commercial, you can do anything on your iPhone. Yeah, just don't get a text. And it's
Paul turned up with everything. He had, he was ready to rock.
Oh yeah.
And they had a great day filming, but like I said, they were very tired. But there's some cool stuff coming. So to cross promote, keep an eye on AV Nevada stuff, because they, the things that they were shooting, some really interesting stuff. Yeah,
absolutely.
And I won't even say the company because we'll let Todd do that. But yeah, keep an eye on them. They are definitely looking at some very, very cool stuff. So yeah.
Well, that's it was great. My coverage from next year's Cedia is going to be by PF Productions. Remember?
Oh, man, yeah,
Remember?
cool.
Because
Yeah,
he
yeah,
won.
yeah.
Paul won the
Yes,
trip.
it's gonna be, yeah, of
And then
course.
he said after, he goes, let's go to Cedia. And he goes, I'll bring my stuff and we'll film it. I'm like, oh my God. All right. I'm like, people
You-
are going
you
to
just
see
need
what I
someone to-
really look like. Ooh.
Well, you just need to get someone to stop you from getting trapped at the back of the demo rooms. You know, when they all come in behind you.
I know. Yeah, it's going to be harder to sneak into rooms when
You've got an
crew.
entourage.
Yeah, exactly. I walk in
My
now, like,
cameraman
let him
would.
go. He's useless.
But
So,
yeah, man, it just
Yeah.
so you know, for anyone that's wondering, you know, I mean, Todd is as
Yeah.
awesome in real life as he is on the show, and
Yeah.
Paul is exactly the same as well. We know Paul well from all the different interactions we've had with him, and
Oh.
he's just as cool in real life again as well. You know, this is not a
Yeah.
as you know as we are. I like to think we are. You know, they are on screen who they are in real life, and yeah, it was awesome. It was so cool.
Yep.
And you know, and I'd asked him to bring me a load of discs, which he did.
and he did.
But also
Yep.
being Todd, he couldn't just do that. So he then brought a load of candy as well.
I was just going to say, he brought you candy, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Of course he did.
So yeah,
Didn't
fair
I
play
tell
to
you
him.
that earlier? Because I'm like, why wouldn't he? He already shipped you a bunch of candy that cost about as much as it cost him probably to fly over there.
Yeah, oh man.
That was a couple of years
so
ago.
got all that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
In fact, okay. I've got some of them here. So these are the Hershey's
Oh, there you go.
and a bark,
Bark,
which you can't
yep.
get here. And then we got and then peppermint.
Their bark is
pretzels
worse
as
than
well.
a bite. Yeah.
Dipped,
Yeah, there you go.
dipped pretzels. Yeah, man. So yeah, some really very cool stuff, which are going to be fun to try. So
There you go.
yeah, let me get that out of the way. You know, I'll check it down.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it was great. It was very cool, but there was one person missing. Deej, just saying,
Ooh.
you.
Shut up. I know. Not
Oh,
a lack of
man.
effort. That's for sure.
No, true. And
It's a story
you
for
know,
another
noted.
day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Noted.
Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah.
But we,
Did
you
you
know,
tell Paul?
Oh yeah, I was like, Deej would think, and was dying to get here, and
Yeah.
they were both,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah.
So, but
That would've been
that's
great.
what next year's for.
Maybe. We'll see. We will see. That'll
Yeah.
be great.
But Paul is in agreement with me that neither of us would be allowed into the continental United States at the moment.
Yeah. I'm sure I could sneak you in.
Yeah, across the border. You waited at the Rio Grande. You and John.
Yeah. Why go there? I got Canada right above me.
That's true. Closer. There you go.
Closer. Yeah, it's 5 hours away to get to Montreal.
Yeah, but so what a trip. It was
That's
awesome. And again, we're all talking about doing it again, and it will be great. And
Yeah.
bring it on. So I mean,
How far are you from London?
About an hour and 40. Well, from where I was staying, it's about an hour and 45 minutes because I stay at a hotel near Heathrow, which is
Right.
one of the biggest airports on the outskirts of London.
Yeah.
So I stay in a hotel there and then just get the tube into London and then back out.
Mhm.
And so it's 1 hour 45 minutes to the hotel from here, which is okay. And it's
it's not
on
bad.
the motorway. It's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very easily doable, but I wouldn't want to drive it in a day. You guys would do that, to go around the corner.
Oh
to
no,
get
it's
the milk.
nice to have the day, you go out the day before and stuff like that. But yeah.
Well, I didn't get
that's
back
cool.
till midnight last night. I left. I checked in at 10:30 in the morning, and I got
Yep.
back at midnight. I was in London all that time, all through the day. So it was,
wow.
it was a long day, but great. And now that it's been done the first time, it can now be done again and again. It's easy.
Yeah, you
now.
know the
So,
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's awesome.
I can pick you up on the way, Deej. Heathrow's just right down there.
Yeah. I know. I got it. I know. We got the itinerary down, that's for sure.
No man, we'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Yeah. just
So there we
a
go.
matter
So what a
of-
nice trip. Very cool, and all kinds
awesome.
of home theater goodness.
That's awesome. Yeah. Glad that finally came about.
Mm.
All right. What do
Okay.
we want to get to? Do we want to kick off? Get the where did it go? Our Ninja.
Yeah, because
This
this
is
one
this
is
week's
yeah.
installment.
Yes.
Oh my
indeed.
God. Yeah. All right. Now
Okay.
that we started on time, it's 5:00. We're just getting to our first home theater experience. We had plenty of experiences so far, but yeah. All right, here we
Let's do
go.
this. Okay, yeah. So this week on Brightside HT's Ninja season, and there's still loads to come. It feels like we've been doing this a while, and yet we've still got so many more to go. And I've now finished my Ninja Watch. Although, well, actually, I haven't seen Jim Carter yet. Again, I need to do that. But all the others I have now seen. So this is the Ninja 3, The Domination, the last of our canon Ninja trilogy box set. And this is one that I'm not sure I had seen. I don't think I had, because it all came as a bit of a surprise to me.
Okay.
So, but whereas Revenge of the Ninja, the middle of the three, I had definitely seen loads of times. But this one, I wasn't sure if I'd seen it or not. So this time then on Canon Ninja, bear in mind all three movies are different films. They're all news stories,
right?
You know, similar. Sho Kosugi's in them all as completely different roles, different characters, different stories. So this time round, for reasons, we now have a ninja that can possess people. We have a ninja spirit that can hop to different people. Why? Don't ask stupid questions. We don't know. It just is. And you get a really cool, I think, cool ninja sort of sequence at the beginning. Although the way these movies work is, if you have a big ninja sequence at the beginning, you know it's going to get talky then for quite a while, because they're getting it all out the way up front. So you get kind of a big ninja sequence at the beginning, but it is quite cool. I think it's, you know, for these movies, it's actually pretty good. And then we get a possession, and our female ninja is who we have in front of us there with all the hair.
I mean, that's the
80s.
The 80s hair. I mean, really, the entire movie is like just the epitome of 80s, right?
80s,
like,
very 80s. Yes.
Yeah, like the whole you know, domination, whatever you want to call it, the possession. Yeah, it's like that whole idea. The only thing they didn't have in here was a Ouija board. But it had. I mean, I took the picture of the. I mean, she has a video game system, and that's part of the movie. It's part of how it happened. But yeah, I had seen this one.
Okay.
But to like your point of what you're saying, like, I'm not sure if I'd seen it before. I know by the cover that I'd seen it, because I remember renting it and being like, well, I gotta see this. And then but I didn't see it with the frequency that I saw Revenge of the Ninja.
And yet, bearing in mind the content of this, and we've already said about who these movies were made for.
Yeah.
And the particular content of this one, I'm surprised we hadn't seen it more, Deej, to be fair.
Yes and no. Yeah, I agree. But this one definitely isn't as good as Revenge of the Ninja.
No.
The movie itself. It's and it is, and it kind of, and I think that's part of it. It's like, if you listen to it last week's show and how much Steve and I like starry-eyed Revenge of the Ninja, it's like, I mean, that was the epitome. Then we're going to get to some more, like American Ninja is actually my absolute favorite, but that we'll talk about at a later date. But those movies were what, like, the little kid in us reenacted, the little kid that wanted to be in it. That's what we did. That's why, like, this movie here was nothing like that. You took nothing out of this movie and tried to duplicate or tried to do in the woods with your buddies, or you tried to. This was just hokey. This whole thing. Yeah. Other than the fact that you said, like, the opening sequence, you finally get a ninja that gets the idea that the costume is part of the camouflage, and it's literal camouflage, and it's, you know, and even. I didn't know a telephone repair woman could become a ninja, but it's even her costume, her telephone repair worked into the ninja costume. But yeah, this here is just, it was entertaining. I know I'd seen it probably a couple of times before, because there were some scenes that I was like, okay, I remember that. And then, I did not see this with the frequency that I saw.
I mean, I remember seeing Sho Kosugi with the eye patch. I remember seeing that somewhere, but I couldn't swear as to whether I'd seen it just in a picture, like a press kit somewhere, or in a magazine, or whether I had seen the thing. But when he turned up with the eye patch, I'm like, okay, I do know that, but the rest of it I couldn't really remember. But I did it. I was never less than entertained with this though. This is better than Enter the Ninja. So for me, it's kind of, in terms of favorites, it's Revenge of the Ninja, then it's this one, then it's Enter the Ninja.
Yeah, it had better choreographed scenes.
Yeah, the fight scenes were pretty decent. Yeah, or at least when the ninjas were knocking around, it was good. I mean, there are some very hokey fight sequences, which is when they're not ninjas. The guys, what is it? The workout guys harassing her, and the fight sequence that takes place there is like, whoa, okay, who choreographed that? But I had a lot of fun with it. It is ultra 80s. But in in a fun kind of way. And again, for 15-year-old boys at the time this came out, there's enough to keep you entertained apart from just the ninjas. I mean, it is a female ninja, and at every excuse they've got her in skimpy workout clothes.
Go into the exactly. Like, well, one of the images I sent you was like she gets that guy back to her place, and I'm like, even as a 15-year-old kid, the most important part of this scene to me was like, she's got a video game console.
Look at the arcade. It was apparently, by the way, if you look on IMDb, I don't know if you did read. I mean, I did. That was supposed to have been released, that game, but in fact never was.
Oh,
so
really?
It's a prototype. So because you see her playing it at one point, but they never released it. It never actually made it to market. So that's a one and done game.
Well, the best commercial went into like a C movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what like, are you gonna do?
They put all their budget into like getting that into the movie. It was like, nobody saw it. Sorry,
but and again, I think though the from the home theater perspective, I think it does look good for what it is. I mean, again, because of the 80s, everything's so colorful, and they were shooting in that kind of stylized way. So of course the colors really do look good. And whatever else anyone might think about the quality of the movies in this set, they look as good as you could ever sensibly want them to look. Yeah,
grainy at times, but the color saturation, the 4K, they're 4K with Dolby Vision, but it's like there's only so much they can do with how it was shot and I don't want to say the resolution of the shot, but it is grainy. It is you're not talking high-end camera work here, cameras. So it's like, but it is like restored to the best it could ever be. It's like I can't imagine like the negatives that they pulled this off are any better. Like, so it is what it is, and they do look really good for what they are. But you're not. The thing is the original image they're starting out with isn't like Ben-Hur, right? They didn't shoot it to that quality.
No. These were always going to be these were C movies, and by C I mean canon. C movies from the very beginning. That's what they were always. And again, we said last week they're exploitation movies. That is what they are. And you've got to watch them with that in mind, both in terms of the quality of the production as well as the story and everything else. But I did enjoy this. This one I will watch again. I mean, Enter the Ninja, probably not. Revenge of the Ninja all day long. And then this one, I think I will watch again because it was fun. And again, there is some decent action in it once it kind of all happens. Yeah. And you get a big ninja action scene at the beginning, and then there's one at the end as well, which again with Sho Kosugi in. I mean, he turns up really late in the movie, but he is in it.
Yeah.
And he, and that's a really good one, and it's well done. And there are some genuine, martial arts prowess on display. And that's enough. That's enough to keep. That's all you want in these. That's enough to keep you coming back to them. So
somehow Ninja gets superhuman strength too. That was weird.
Yes, quite. Yes, and there are some unusual things in here. Eli says again, my mom rented me one ninja movie a week in the 80s. Some was very, very bad adult contact there, but she never knew. And then you love how he then follows this up with, and I've mentioned it in therapy.
Oh God, yeah, it's so funny.
For us, this is our therapy. This is kind of watching these is our therapy, and we get to talk about it afterwards in a group setting. Exactly. This is therapy for us. It's great. Yeah.
Hello,
you're all in our therapy circle now, people.
My name is DJ. I watch movies a lot. What do we got? And there's and Greg the Awesome Ninja.
That's just the robot.
This is his favorite month of the show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many of these Greg's seen because Greg's much younger than us, and the ninja stuff came along way before Greg would have even been born, presumably.
Yeah.
So I don't know how
decades.
whether yeah. So whether this is still something, whether Greg you have seen these, I don't know. But if you haven't, borrow them from DJ and see them because they are well worth seeing. They are good fun.
They're all stacked up. Yep.
Yeah. So but it's very, very cool. I did enjoy it. Like I said, it was a great.
They are
in the right frame of mind. These are awesome.
I am dying. I have it right there. I'm dying to get to American Ninja. I've watched so much this week. I know you already took it in, and when you told me, you texted me one of the lines that I literally that line. I don't want to do it again. We'll do it. I think we're doing that one next week, right?
Yeah.
I want to watch that just before the show. I'm probably gonna watch it a couple times because it is my absolute favorite. But
and it's still good.
It's like that's why I didn't want to watch it like a week ago or whatever because I'm like, I want it. And I've watched, like I said, I've watched so much before then. This week. So yeah, it's oh my god, it's so fun.
Greg's so there you go. So he's saying we'll do. So there you go. And of course, Greg, DJ's got these on physical media, not Kaleidoscape. So
they're all
about it.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
That's this week's Ninjathon. That's plenty more to come. Plenty more.
Let me see. What do I want to do here? What do I got? Where did mine go? I got one that I wanted to do. Okay. Have you seen this one? This one was a fun one.
Not sure. I can't quite see which one that one is.
Okay.
I'll check it on. I'll soon find out.
All right. Let me see this one here, brought to me by.
Oh, no, not seen this.
John Mensor mentioned this to me earlier this week. This is The Wrecking Crew on Amazon Prime, another Amazon Prime movie. And it's got Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista. It's 2 hours, 4 minutes, action, comedy. Oh my God. And John nailed it. He was so much fun. It really was. It was these two. I don't want to give it away, but they're real because John didn't give it away to me other than to say that it is like almost like a buddy cop type. It's a new version of the buddy cop, and their chemistry, these two together, is just really, really good. I mean, personally, and I said this to John too, I'm like, personally, I like them. I don't know them. It's but I mean, outside of their movies, their personalities come off to me is really, really good. You watch, either of these guys on their press tours, and they are just great guys. They're just so enthusiastic about everything they do. And they just exude that, right? That's one of the best compliments I get. Everybody says your enthusiasm for this is infectious, right? Well, you see that in other people too. And it's and by the same token, we all know the actors that are they're not as enthusiastic, right? They just seem like they're in it for not just the paycheck, or maybe they just want to be famous, or it just doesn't seem like they're there to have fun. They're there to I think a Tom Cruise loves what he does. Absolutely. He's like these guys, right? Absolutely loves what he does. And it's I won't name people that I think are the other way because that's not fair. Because I might be wrong. I mean, I'm not afraid to say to compliment somebody and then maybe someday be wrong. But it's I don't want to disparage somebody either. But these guys here, it's they just feel their personas. Maybe it's all wrong, but what a great job they're doing getting these personas out there, especially in this day and age, right?
Yeah.
Put them together on screen and watch them go. See this movie, and you're going to be I'm telling you, just that part alone and the way they handled it and the way this movie plays out, you're going to be oh my, it's so fun. It is so fun. And the Morena Baccarin is also in it.
Okay.
And her role in it is the women in this movie are badasses. And it's one is John Bautista's wife in the movie, and the other one is Morena Baccarin plays Jason Momoa's girlfriend. And those two are they're the badasses. And they keep these guys in line. And it is so funny how they do it. It's so great. Movie is an absolute blast. Fun movie. Definitely need a Wrecking Crew 2. Home theater wise, this is one of Amazon's best. So good.
Ooh.
They're like right away, the bass in this movie is very good. Very good. So what happened is I haven't even had a chance to talk about it this week, but I redid this, not redid, but as you could see, you and I talked about earlier, so I kind of refinished the theater that I'm in here, right? I got a different desk. If you're looking at the backdrop on YouTube, it's like I'm in the corner now. I got a smaller desk so I can move in. I got a little bit more space. And so what ended up happening is like, now I got space in here, and to turn around, I can have my chair here. Well, of course, Larissa, in her giving way, she was out at a store after lunch with some friends. They were stopping the store. They walk in, and there's a 51-inch couch. Would fit perfectly in here. She bought it, brought it home. She's like, look, it fits perfect. And it sits down. And I'm like, now I got this little couch that I slide over. But that couch sits differently on the floor. So now I can feel the bass coming up through the floor better. And it's like, instead of being in this little chair that's got it, but I could also feel it in my chest and stuff like that. But this movie, the bass in it was really, really good. And it was localized overhead in this helicopter chase scene. There was a scene where the helicopter flies from the front of the room over your head, and like the base of the helicopter blades, you could feel it was really nice. And that scene goes over, and that's a pretty cool chase scene with the helicopter in it. So excellent home theater experience, and just a fun, buddy cop, whatever you want to call it, movie that you can't go wrong. Great home theater experience.
Okay, it had passed me by. I think I was sort of vaguely aware of it, but I hadn't sort of clocked it, if you know what I mean. So,
same here.
Okay.
I had heard of it. I remember when John mentioned it, he texted it to me and he's like, check this out. It's just such a good time. And I was like, all right. And it rung a bell. I was like, I did hear about that a while ago. I didn't know when it was coming out. And then, it just came out this week. So, but yeah, 4K, it's got all the Dolbys, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, and it's really, really good time. Really good time. So, yep.
I look forward to, I'll have to check that out. As I said, I hadn't really realized kind of where it was to watch. So now I know. That is good to know.
Amazon Prime. So, one thing I will say though, is I do remember at the beginning of the movie, Amazon, and we'll talk about that later in this show about another Amazon product. There was a little bit of grain. There was a little bit of where the image, you were like, it's not how we come to expect full crispness with 4K and HDR and stuff. This had a little bit more film grain in it. And I was like, I wonder if that's an Amazon thing or something like that, where it's nowadays, you watch something on Netflix or Apple TV, and it seems like they try to get rid of as much as possible, and they make it more modern looking, more crisp, and people like it, but this might, if you've come out of something, if you've just watched something else that's very, crisp and modern or something like that, you might be like, but I'm telling you, the colors, everything, the vibrancy, the Dolby Vision on it, very, very good. The HDR looks really, really nice on this. So yeah.
No, nice. Really no, that's all right. Yep. No, fair play.
All right.
Well, you got Rachel in the chat saying, we'll have to do a Brightside home theater road trip. Maybe on those bikes.
Yeah, exactly. Road trips. Yeah, more talk about that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right.
All right. What do you want to hit next there, my friend?
I really should do some of the ones that have been there for a little while. So let's do there's one with Daisy Ridley in the middle, white, sort of a goldish kind of orangey red cover with white writing. There it is in the middle at the top there. That's the one. Let's do this one. It's been there a while.
Yeah, that one's been there a while.
We've done horror for a little bit, so let's do some horror-ish.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So this is apologies for the Dutch angles on that writing. That is not how it looks. That's my camera angle. It's my,
Oh, okay.
I'll
That's all
grab it
right.
really quick. It's not how it's supposed to look.
The Dutch angle. Listen to you.
Yeah. Well, you know, where did I go to film school? Oh, yeah, Cinema George.
Mhm.
But it is. I am reliably informed that that's what they call, but it's off center. It's a Dutch angle. This is We Bury the Dead. Now this is on Blu-ray. I do believe. Double check. I think it is. It was a while ago. I saw it. Just trying to remember now.
I could tell you.
Yeah.
Where's
Pretty
the
sure.
notes?
Yeah, it is Blu-ray. There you go. DTS HD 5.1. There we go. Yeah. So this one then, I watched this 17th of February. So there you go. So it's going back a bit. So this is Blu-ray. No 4K over here. I think there may be a 4K out there somewhere, but in the UK for now anyway, it's only Blu-ray. 1080p DTS HD 5.1 master audio. And I only really know about this because of Jordan. Jordan mentioned that this was coming out. I had kind of didn't really think a lot of it. He mentioned it, and then I looked it up, saw the reviews, and thought, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to give this a go. And the beauty of Blu-ray is it's £15. It's dirt cheap. It's not your £25-30 for 4K. And have you heard of this, Deej? Did you know about this? You know anything about this movie at all?
Other than the fact that I didn't think that was like really a thing to note. Like, doesn't everybody bury their dead?
Well, what about when they're not dead?
Well, it says we bury the dead. It didn't
What
say
if
we
they're
bury the live.
What if they're the undead?
Okay. So this is
there
a
you go.
zombie movie.
You're intrigued. Yes.
Okay.
Well,
that's
kind of.
true. I never thought of that. Do zombies like dig themselves out?
If you've seen 1986's Return of the Living Dead, in that movie,
they crawl right out of the ground.
They do.
Yeah, a la Kill Bill.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, wiggle your zombie toe.
Don't give them a flashlight.
Exactly that. And don't get them trained by Pai Mei, because you're asking for trouble, really, aren't you? So this is so it's a quite a low budget movie. Daisy Ridley, who really hasn't been in a great many movies, so she's in this now. It's an Australian production, so it's set in Australia for reasons that didn't quite work out. She's doing an American accent in it, and then pretty good, but it just looks weird coming out of her mouth because she's so British and so clearly British. It just was a bit odd, but it's fine. So the story is there is a zombie outbreak. This is from memory now. Bear in mind we are over a month ago. So there's been a zombie outbreak. It's a kind of I think it's in Tasmania. It's supposed to be. And there's a kind of something's happened. There's been a military base, and something's happened. There's been a bombing, or some sort of a virus has escaped, and it's affected all of the inhabitants of this particular region. But what they've noticed is it killed them, but some of them have come back, and so it's not everybody. It's not the zombie thing where they all come back. Some of them have. Hey, Mikey.
What's up, Mikey?
So some of them come back. And so what's happened is Daisy Ridley is searching for her husband, who was in the area when this happened and has gone missing. And so she joins it's
one of those
crew.
Hope you find them, hope you don't find them things.
Well, this is the thing, yes. But the information that's got out is not clear. So the people in this that are going to this area, they're going there ostensibly to clear the dead house to house. But they've been told, some come back, but they don't really know why or how. Yeah. So she's gone looking, but doesn't know what's happened to him. And it's actually a really kind of tender story. So she's searching, and it's the people she then comes across as she's doing it. Yeah, well, quite
very tender. Look at the poster.
It's just that's a tear. Well, yeah, the axe says romance, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's like it's this Sophie's Choice, Beaches. I mean, what are we going to watch?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. Yes. Love Actually, or do we go with We Bury the Dead?
Notebook. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's all good. Nicholas
Predator.
So we get Human Centipede. What we're going for. But it is quite a tender story.
That's a different love story right there. My face zone. Well, never mind.
Let's just say the connections are very different.
That is not the love connection I'm looking for.
Yeah, no, definitely not, definitely not. There was a conversation last night with Paul and Todd about some of the worst horror movies, and I'll just tell you the ones to avoid. Human Centipede was one of those.
Yeah.
Although Todd is now curious about Terrifier 1, 2, and 3, I think he's going to see them. I tried to tell him not to, but there we go. So anyway, but it is quite tender because she encounters these people on the road. She's trying to find her husband, and she forms relationships with these people, and it's kind of and they're also broken, and they're trying to find people, and it's quite a hard to say, a quiet zombie film, if I can put it that way. It's not, you don't have hordes of screaming zombies, you don't have thousands of all sweeping in. It's not World War Z or 28 Days Later. It's not, and so it's a really interesting story, and it resolves itself in unexpected ways. I actually really enjoyed this. This was for a low budget, out of nowhere movie. I did enjoy it. And if you're not into this kind of movie, you're probably not going to want to buy it, but it'll be on Netflix soon enough, or Amazon or whatever. And keep an eye out for it. And if you get a chance, it is well worth seeing in a genre that's been done to death. Zombie movie, and I know you did. Of course, as soon as you say zombie movie, you're like, "Oh God, another one." Right? Okay, yeah. And a lot of people do, and because it's been absolutely oversaturated. However, when you get an interesting spin on that genre movie, it's worth noting that, and this does that. Then it's not your typical zombie movie. It's a zombie film with I say with tenderness, but with some heart, with some kind of with thoughts as to what would happen if someone that you loved was taken from you, and then how you would then deal with that, and the loss and the guilt and everything else that comes with it, and a few other little twists and turns which I won't give away. I liked it. I'm glad I've got it in the collection. I'll definitely see this again. And I do recommend it for those wanting something a bit different from their zombie movies. It's worth seeing. Oh, and again, 4K. The HD experience, digitally shot, no grain, looks beautiful. 185, I think, from memory. But it looks razor sharp, and it's shot in Australia, so it all looks beautiful. Okay. I mean, it's all really nice. And then the DTS HD, nothing massively to write home about, but it's not that kind of movie. It's not an action film.
It's not on Kaleidoscape.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
I don't even see it.
Yeah. Is it out on Blu-ray over there? Or is it on Amazon or anything like that?
Let's see.
Yeah. Out of curiosity. Yeah. Just while you're looking, so Jordan says, I'm waiting to get We Bury the Dead when it releases on 4K in Germany in the near future. Recently confirmed Australia are getting a 4K release. Well, they would. It's an Aussie film.
March 17th, it dropped here in Blu-ray.
Oh, okay. No 4K?
4K. No 4K. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't list as 4K anyways.
No. Well, it is definitely worth picking up. This will, like I said, it'll drop on Netflix at some point, or Amazon Prime. But it's a better movie than I think you might think it would be based on
July. It comes in 4K here in July, 3 months.
Oh, okay.
July 8th. It's saying Umbrella Entertainment 4K. And they've got it. Other options. It's $16.99 right now, 96 in Blu-ray right now.
Okay.
4K, Dolby Vision, audio, TBA.
That'll be 5.1. They're not going to do it that much.
What's interesting is the native resolution. It's coming in 4K, but it says native resolution right now is 1080p.
Okay.
So maybe that's just because it's coming in July and they don't have the actual specs for the 4K yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would buy the 4K disc if it surfaces. I wouldn't import the disc. Personally, I'll wait. We get a UK version at some point. I will get it.
Yeah.
But it's a really interesting movie, this one. And again, I mean, DJ, I know it's not, and I'm not telling you to put it high on your list, but if you do get to see it, I'll be curious to know what you meant to it. Yeah. And I'm kicking myself because I knew there was a movie I meant to recommend to Todd last night, and this was the one.
I'm always a sucker for a tender zombie movie.
Well, why not? Well, we've already had a rom-zom-com, of course, which is Shaun of the Dead. Which was marketed as a rom-zom-com. But yeah, it's an interesting film. So there we go.
Nice. All right. All righty then. Let's see. What are we at now? Yeah, so we probably should. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I wanted to get to. I have other ones that do I have anything? I don't have. I mean, I have more.
Yeah.
But it'll have to. Oh, before we get to that. So
Mm.
again, this gets back to our great listeners that you met with. Did he tell you about this?
Oh, no. I'm just seeing that now. Yeah, no.
So, and we're about to talk about it, but one of the trailers that dropped recently, we were, I don't know if it was the Academy Awards that dropped or if just recently in the theaters with Project Hail Mary, but the Dune trailer, Dune 3, right?
Yeah.
And one of the images, this is what you're going to see on your screen, very similar to one of the images. But this is the work of our good friend of the show that you met with the other day. Paul Hurt sent me this out of the blue.
Cool. Yeah, man.
Sights, Sounds, Scenes, Brightside Home Theater, right? So he sends me this, and then I also sent this. So then,
I'm disappointed.
Why?
Why is it on our faces on those two down there?
Well, you should talk to Paul. I mean, this is
I will now. I will.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like. But look at that. I mean, yeah, nice of him to do this out of the blue. So I went to work, customized it a little bit more. Check this out. With our blue theme, because our background, the blue theme. Did that. But then check this one out. I put it to, let me see if I can get it to play. But you can't hear it.
Yeah.
But there's also almost like the THX sound behind it. Really cool. So I'm like, how nice would that be as the open to the show? Like before we, oh my God, doesn't that look nice? Like hit play again.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like and you put that on a loop with the music behind it. It's like all inspired by Paul.
Yeah, man.
It's
He's a cool dude.
It's actually inspired by Dennis Villanueva, but Paul stole it and put it to our show. So
well, yeah, quite. Yes, indeed. Yes. But still,
shush. It's like, hey, good artists borrow, great artists steal.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, you might have seen this somewhere before, but we made it better. So yeah. So isn't that cool? So thanks, Paul. That was really cool.
Yeah. Really good. Really good.
So, and then of course I got our poster back in my background here, which was another goal.
Oh yeah.
Us, so
that's
yours is on the other side there. All right. So let me, I don't need to put that picture up, right?
Now, how do I know that you take that photo?
Oh, this one, like it's like a sweater commercial from the 80s.
Police officers do not come off well in that film. I forgot to say that.
They don't.
No, they don't. Ninja 3. Yeah. If you're a police officer, don't watch Ninja 3 Domination.
No. Oh God, no. All right. So I've got a bunch of images from where I saw Project Hail Mary.
Okay.
And so let me start with. So, anyways, we'll start with that, like the theaters, where we saw it. We'll talk about that before.
Yeah, because there's some interesting stuff for both of us. In fact, in that, yeah.
Yeah. So let's start that out with. Where's the image that I wanted to start with here? We'll start with this one, just to get us into it. So, Project Hail Mary. This is the topic. So, yeah. So here it is. I'm at Cinemark, which is the one that Jim Doolittle talked to me about during the show that he went to, and it's an hour and 20 minutes away. So I had a rainy day, scheduled it and went out.
Yeah, right, 216. Sorry, just Steve out saying, is this a spoiler session? No, don't worry.
No,
Steve,
we'll let you know.
To that. Don't worry.
Yeah. We'll let you know when we get to the spoilers. We're going to talk theater, presentation, theaters, the experience of the theater. Then we'll talk movie and what we think of the home theater, spoiler free. Then we'll go into spoilers of the movie. So, but yeah, so from here, it's like, this is what it looked like, but let me back out of this for a second and let me see, I'll scroll through. So I'll scroll back this way here. And
what part of Mass is it, Deej, or is it not in Mass?
This is in Massachusetts. It's further west than I am right now. So I had to drive like an hour and 20 minutes west, closer to New York State. Okay. So this is like the lot as you come in. It's actually in a mall. Okay. So, and there's that was a a big stand up of Mandalorian and Grogu in the lobby. This is their concession area, which is like really, really small. Like most which I found unique because most of the multiplexes we go to, the concession area is huge, and then all the theaters are off to the side. This one's really small, and then you go down. If you could see if this one has it. No, you can't even see it. But they did have the helmet buckets for sale. The popcorn bucket for the movie, they had them for sale. I think they were $30 a piece just for that. And I almost bought one, but then I was like, I stopped myself because I was like, nope, that's what I do. And I just did the move where I took all this, prop stuff that I'm like, it seems great on that day. And then you're like, what am I doing with this 10 years from now? I'm like, what the hell was this do? So I didn't, but this is right outside the theater, but look at this hall and like, it's just theaters on either side, but they have, that's that. Then the Cinemark, this is the XD theater that this movie's playing in. And 35 trillion colors, multi-layered digital surround sound, larger than life screens. There's the screen. This is at the end of the movie. I took this picture. So that's the credits to the movie. This is me standing right like at the front towards where you go out. But then I just turned around and this is where you see the cinema itself. So the seats are nice, comfortable, but it's not luxurious like some of the theaters with the power seats and the, more space around you. What I did find interesting is if you look at these pictures, which it's like, see how like these seats here, seat 5 is on the end because 1 would be up against the wall. Yeah. So now when you pick online, it means that middle seat is always like 16, 17. And I really appreciate that because if they said 1, because it started here, it would change where the middle would be. It's like, your seat. So I thought that was really cool. It's a little.
Do they not have a seating plan when you book it online?
Yeah, you do. You do.
Okay.
But you couldn't, but now I just want 16 and 17. You could tell somebody that because of this. It's like, whereas otherwise you'd be like, here, buy me a couple of tickets, but if you're in these rows, get me 14 and 15. If you're in these, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's those little tiny details that mean something, right? This is the entrance inside that theater, in that hallway. And it's huge. It's all the detail went into the presentation of walking into this XD cinema. Right on the other side of it, I don't know if I took a picture of it or not, is their 3D presentation. And it looks just like this. It's like the same type of entrance on the other side. So again, this is down that hall. Oh, those are my glasses in the truck. But this presentation of the movie was awesome. Okay. Now let me back out and find yours where you went. Oh, all right. Actually, let me add this in now, just so for the conversation, look at, this was X. I also saw this at X Plus. Okay. Now they had that huge poster at Cinemark, had that huge poster that I stood next to right outside the theater. They had another poster outside in the lobby. I didn't take a picture there, but this is me at Showcase X Plus right in Millbury, the one that I love that I've gone to. I walked all over the place to find the poster. They don't have one inside. This is outside in the cold, in like just on the side of the building. And then you go inside. That's their entrance to the X Plus. It says Dolby Atmos, Auditorium 7. There's an X on the door. Neato. And then this is like the little lobby next to it. That's it. That's their present.
Doctor's waiting office.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Next, bend over, cough. It's like the presentation is like, that's a great way of putting it. Doctor's way. It's so septic, like so, like just,
It's the little tables. It's kind of weird.
Just so you can put your drink down next to it. No, nothing. It's like there's nothing there. That's the presentation that you get. And yes, I didn't take a picture of the inside, but it's each row is like the seats are way more comfortable, way more spacious. They're powered, recliners, everything, but there's a wall behind you. So like you can't see the row in front of you or behind you. right?
Mhm.
Which is nice for privacy or nice for the viewing, because when you're looking at the screen, you just see like a half wall in front of you, but you don't see the people down below it.
Yeah, it's quite
But
cool.
you know what those walls do?
Mm.
They block the rear surround.
Yes. Yeah. Mhm.
So you don't get, and your head isn't up listening to the room, right?
Yeah.
So it's like me going to, well, before we get to that, let me look for where now your
Right,
stuff.
so I've got an outside one, and then because they've just refitted this one.
Where did
I put some new stuff
did I
in.
move
So, yeah.
them to?
Bottom
did,
right. No,
did you put them in show prep?
Yeah, it's in there. I think it's
Oh,
in
right
there.
here. There we
Yeah,
go.
got it.
So you
Yeah,
got
there's
the
an
outside.
it's there we go. That's it. So okay,
Yeah.
so on my way back from London today, I hot-footed it back as quickly as I could, driving the speed limit. I hasten to add, officer.
Yeah.
But so I got back, and I had some time, and I thought, and I knew we wanted to talk about this tonight. I hadn't had a chance to see it over the weekend, and so this was my first opportunity. So yeah, hot-footed it to my local View Cinema, which has just been retrofitted with the Epic signage, and they closed it for that's for the other reason I didn't see it at the weekend. They closed it on Friday and Saturday to do a lot of work, so and they clearly have. So yeah, so this is the place where I see it. So went inside and into the theater itself, and this is a new thing. So this is the Epic screens, and this is supposed to be luxury, both audio, video, and seating. It's 4K laser projected by Barco, so HDR, the full works, Dolby Atmos, obviously, and again, this is pretty much brand new. So I went up to the seating, and this is they have these luxe seats, which are not cheap, and that's them there. Notice there are pillow cushions.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen in a commercial theater before.
Nope.
And it's pretty much brand new, and there's already some stains on them. So I chucked my one. I threw mine down down a couple of rows along. I wasn't going to use that damn thing. But there are some unusual bits on this. So the seats themselves are power reclining. That's because you can see that. In fact, you see the button.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. But if you go up a bit, Deej, if you go, so you've got the little that's a little platform, a little table there where the cursor is there. That's a table. Yeah. Underneath there's a little cubby to put your bags and coats and stuff, which is a bit unusual. But if you go up a little bit, up in that image, right? See that circle there to the right? Move to the right, to the right, to the right. Oh. Right. See that circle there, just underneath the Brightside logo there. Can you see it? It's underneath the logo, Yeah. Now, do you know what that is?
Looks like a cup holder.
It is, but do you know what it does?
Chills
it's
your drink.
Cooler. It's a cooler.
Yeah.
You can turn it off and on. And I've never seen that in a commercial theater either.
Nice.
So you can bet I was messing around with that straight away. So you put your drink in there, press the little button, it glows blue, and you can hear it operating, and it's chilling your drink. It keeps it cool during the movie.
Oh, very
weird
nice.
That there's only one for every 2 or 3 seats, but still.
Yeah, so you have to argue with your. Now, is that the only cup holder available? Like, there's no cup.
Well, you've got the tables there, so that one where you've got the cursor.
So you
there,
have so each person has a half a table, like you see right here and right here, and then you'd see like the chair next to it. So you share. Like this is this person's half and this is that person's half.
That's right. And there's a table above the cooler as well. That's a little mini table.
Yeah, the little section here now.
So that's that too. So all new. These luxe seats. These again, you pay more for these. They're all of the seats in that theater are power reclining ones, but the luxe ones have the cooler in the table and the little cubby to put your stuff in. So I paid for this because I hadn't used these yet. And that's the screen obviously looking forward. Not that pretty decent positioning as well, I thought, bearing in mind kind of sometimes they put these too far back, but actually it was about right. And so so it's something new. I mean, I've been in the Epic Cinema before because I watched The Bone Temple, your favorite, in there. But this is the first, obviously, with this movie and with these new luxe seats. This is the new thing. I have to say, I didn't find the seats terribly comfortable. I'll take Cinema George's power reclining chairs over.
They're also brand new.
Well, that's the
right. Yes. They probably need to be broken in, and they're not going to be comfortable at the beginning because these are commercial and they have to last a while. So if they start off comfy, they're going to be within a month. You're going to be sinking to the bottom.
Yeah, so, quite absolutely, and that is true. And you have to concede that. But they weren't. It wasn't very comfortable. Also, I found the leg rest was a bit too short as well. So my legs were dangling over it, and then it was quite uncomfortable after a while. But having said that, this is how I'd want to see my movies. But I'm more likely, I think, to use the one step down seats than these. Those are
Yeah.
the ones you can see in front there because they're still reclining, but they're just more comfortable. Personally, but the experience, I mean, the sound and the video, is great. So in that respect, it's very, very cool. So let's talk movie then, Deej.
All
Because you've seen
righty.
it twice. Tell us all.
I've seen it twice. I'm actually, I just realized we have zero image for it other than
No,
one.
I've got a poster image. I put a poster image in there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The last one, the very last one that I put. There we go. Bottom
Oh,
right.
there we go. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can share that then. I can do. Let me see. This is the thing. Well, anyways, you start with yours.
Yeah.
I'll pull up the image.
Okay, So I've only seen it once, obviously, and I have to confess, guys, because when I eventually get the 4K disc, I know I will enjoy that more. Bear in mind, I walked 8 miles yesterday around London. 12.5 hour day. I got back at midnight, up early, longish drive, and straight to the theater. So bear in mind, so I was tired. And I was a bit sleepy for about the first half an hour or so of this. And I was struggling to keep awake a little bit. And I was a bit worried that I was going to miss some. So I don't think I fell asleep. I might have done, but I don't think I did. However, it wasn't really the movie I thought it was going to be. And I've seen the trailers. But I mean that in a good way. And of course, this is directed by Phil Lord, Chris Miller, who, of course, the Spider-Verse movies, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, these guys know their stuff. And I wasn't sure kind of the type of movie this was going to be really, even though I'd seen the trailers. And I'm pleased to report it was much, I mean, is that word tender again? I think it's much more emotional a movie than I thought it was going to be. And it's
an understatement.
Really, it's a really cleverly done film. I've got some questions which will lead to the spoilers, but it is a warm film. It's an uplifting film. It's a hopeful movie, and I think that's a really nice thing. And I mean, there's one particular moment in it, because as I said, it is emotional, where there's a guy sitting a couple of seats away from me. There was no one in between us, and this guy was there. He was a grown man, probably older than me, but grown man. And at one particular point, and again, we'll talk about this in spoilers, this guy, he must have been holding in his sobbing, right?
Yeah.
And there's this one moment where 2 words are said, just so you'll know, Deej, right? 2 words are said, and he just let out the loudest sob. I think it was literally which was really interesting. And so I did enjoy it. I thought it was really good. I'm looking forward to seeing it again. I can't wait to get this in Cinema George.
Absolutely.
Because the 4K experience, I mean, well, if we ever get this on disc,
I'm sure we will.
It's an Amazon movie, so
but it was in theaters, I'm sure, and it's MGM, and it's
quite, but they're owned by Amazon now, of course. But
I'm
if
sure
we do ever get it on disc, it'll be great. Although I'll watch the stream of it as well. I don't care. I need to see it. So I'm looking forward to getting it at home. I think it will be better at home, but I did, very much enjoy the movie. I thought it was really good. I don't think I'd go back and see it in theaters again because it's a long movie as well. Well, and I get
going
that.
a third at least.
So I get why, but I think one and done for me in theaters, and then I'll look forward to watching it again at home when I'm wide awake as well. So I'm sure I'll enjoy it more then. But it's really good. Anyway, so what did you think, Deej? Did you think it was terrible, and you went back the second time to confirm it?
I went back just to double check. I'm a glutton for punishment, so had such an awful experience the first time. I figured, what the heck? Let's do that again.
Glutton for punishment.
So basically I did took the ride out west, hour and 20 minutes. And I mean, the reason we opened with the presentation in the theater and everything like that is Jim had recommended it to me, like, take a look. And what happened is when I saw the beginning of this movie, I was like, they say now Cinemark doesn't do, when you see the beginning of the movie, they didn't They don't advertise in the theater that you're seeing a Barco laser projector. You don't see Dolby Atmos, which I don't know if they're doing Atmos there. They're doing, a virtual sound otherwise. But they don't advertise all that stuff. But what they do is they give you like a top-notch experience, and they let the experience speak for itself. Okay. Now, the question was that a Barco projector? Was I sure? Because when this movie opens, the imagery, like the image on the screen, was a little grainy. It wasn't as sharp. It's like you're like, what? And you're open. This is multiple aspect ratios in this movie. And when you see it in an IMAX format, which Cinemark isn't, it's not an IMAX theater, so it doesn't get that moniker, and it's not endorsed by IMAX, but you're getting that same format. Like the screen size is the same. Okay. So when you do your multiple aspect ratios and you go to the tall aspect ratio of IMAX, okay, it fills your screen. And you're in that cinema and you see that and it looks awesome. And then you go down into the, a 235 or 239 and you're like, okay, so you have bars at the top and the bottom. And I believe, if maybe I'm wrong, but I thought there were 3 aspect ratios and they had to do with the movie. There's the IMAX and like a 239, and then there's one in the middle for a few scenes that I noticed. And we'll get into that in spoilers. But what I saw, and it plays awesome, okay, at Cinemark. But I will tell you, I left Cinemark going, I'm not sure that was a Barco projector. I was like, I didn't know. And it's like, called them up, found out that it was. And I was like, to be fair, I was complaining about it. And Larissa was the one that made the call. It was actually kind of funny. She's like, yeah, I'm calling on behalf of Brightside Home Theater podcast. And we were wondering if, and we're going to talk about it on the show. So I just wanted to have the details. I was like, wow, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's their laser projector, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, great. So I wanted to see this again. And I went to my go-to, which was Showcase Cinema. And they have X Plus with the Barco projector, Atmos. They do the trailer before the movie. They do all that. And I'm like, this is it. This is great. Yep. Cinemark has ruined Showcase Cinema for me. Absolutely ruined it. Because when I went out to Cinemark, like I showed you, you walk in there, you feel like you're in an old-timey theater. You feel like even before you step foot into the theater, you're like, this is what movie going is all about. Then the presentation, and I'm like, this is awesome. Yeah, the picture wasn't as crisp as like what I would expect, but that's the filmmaking. That is the movie. When I experienced it at Showcase, they have, and what I saw with your picture is that they had the widescreen. Okay, so you have, and now, but the version you get, like the version I got there, is the same version I saw at Cinemark, but they don't mask off the edge of the screen. So you're getting like a cropped image. So there's black bars, unused screen on the sides. And then when they go to the variable aspect ratios, you're getting a movie inside, like you're getting black bars all around, all 4 sides. Oof. And it looks awful. The presentation is awful. I was listening to #Dork today, and Ryan, who I've already emailed, I'm like, I got to get him on the show. He saw that at an AMC and he was pissed. Yeah. And he's like, this is ridiculous. And he is right, but he's blaming AMC. But it's not AMC's fault. It's not Showcase's fault in that that's the presentation of the movie. This is the screens they have. The part they're missing, and this is where like John Thompson and I have talked about this, where it's like somebody, there's a job out there for me somewhere, because people, how do they not know this? How does a car painter know? Put curtains in, people. Because if all they have to do, they could play all the trailers, close the curtain, and now your feature presentation, and you open the curtain to the correct width of aspect ratio, all of that complaining goes away, and you just upped your presentation in the theater, right? Yeah. Because everybody's like, oh my God, look at that. Nobody's looking at the edges of the screen that aren't being utilized. You're getting that full aspect ratio. It's just, it was like Showcase it was just awful. The sound wasn't as good at Showcase. Yeah. I actually found the sound in both places to be a little subdued. I thought it could have been louder.
Yeah, that was not my experience. Mine was thunderous.
The Cinemark didn't have the bass, but neither did Showcase. So I'm hoping to go see this either in IMAX or in Dolby Cinema or both.
Yeah, it's definitely there, Deej. It is there, I can assure you.
I'm sure. But what I'm saying is like the overall experience at Cinemark for me, especially after going to Showcase, it's worth the hour and 20-minute drive.
Well, if it's worth seeing there.
Correct. Right.
Okay. Gotcha.
You know, and it's like, I mean, the presentation was great. So again, we'll talk more about that in the future, I'm sure. And especially when I have Ryan on, that'll be great. We'll get into all of that. The movie itself, again, spoiler free. I absolutely love it. That's why I want to do a spoiler version right now, you know, in a few minutes. But I think I already have it penciled in as my home theater experience of the year because of aspect ratios, the way the sound did move in that Cinemark theater. There are a few shots where the camera turns and the sound rotates. And in that theater at Cinemark, the way it moved there, it was like, think of the barrel rolls in Maverick, only slower and more discreet and like more noticeable. Like the barrel rolls in Maverick are so fast, it's hard to tell. You're like, whoosh, you have to pay it. These ones are like, whoosh, and you're like, oh my God, really, really good. Never mind the HDR. It was, I mean, the barcode project, it did look great in both places. I just thought Showcase had a bad presentation of it, but the HDR and the black levels, so good. So good. And there's a lot of detail. Obviously they're in space. There's a ton of stuff. This is going to be amazing at home.
It should be. Paul dropped in. Hey, Paul, how you doing, buddy? It almost feels like yesterday I saw it. Oh, it was. So he says, at Epic in Leicester Square, they set the masking perfectly to 2391. The movie is actually flat width, so left bit's white screen to the left and right. So Paul, obviously, I know you just sort of come in. So yeah, I saw it at Epic in View Epic earlier today in Bristol. And yeah, it looked and sounded amazing. I mean, again, it's barcode, all good. As I say, there were some subtle ratio changes. It never went full IMAX, but there were some subtle ratio changes. But it looked great and it sounded awesome. I mean, there is a lot of bass in this, and even feeling it again up through the seats. You can it was very solid. So yeah, I've got no complaints on its presentation. And John Menzel mentioned earlier, just because I started, so so he said, let us know what the general impressions are on how Atmos was compared to at home. I've not seen many Atmos movies in theater, but home for me, Atmos is more noticeable.
Yes.
Well, quite. And for me as well, I give me my home Atmos any day of the week. Sorry, I didn't take it off. That. Whoops. I've unstarted and then not removed it. Whoops. There we go. So for me, I mean, home Atmos is always better, but then it's more localized. It's more
it's more intimate.
Yeah, exactly that. And Atmos, of course, it's about the atmosphere. And so, of course, it is definitely better at home. But it was very, very good in this. In the cinema I saw it in, it was great. I mean, it is enveloping. It is constant. The music is beautiful. And again, very specifically done to evoke a mood that space movies aren't generally known for. So really, really well done. I mean, I can't criticize the presentation. I can criticize the uncomfortable seats, but I can't criticize the presentation. It was great. So yeah, very cool. And I did enjoy the movie. Again, when I'm more awake, I know I'll enjoy it more. Watching it back again, I will enjoy it more because I'll know where it's going. And then so I'm looking forward to that a great deal. So yeah, bring it on, says I. Bring it on.
All right, you ready to get into some spoilers?
Yeah. So do you want to just give everyone the
we'll give a heads up. Here we go. We'll roll on the real experiences. Here we go. Spoilers. This is the end of the show. If you haven't seen Project Hail Mary yet, please disembark from the show. Come back when you've seen it. For all those that have seen it, please stay seated and enjoy the show.
And please take your trash with you at the end of the performance.
So
So
Dominic, bye
yeah,
all.
yeah, quite, yeah. Bye, yeah, guys, yeah. Mutting. Music, yeah,
I like that he's not leaving the show. He's just gonna watch us talk.
yeah. Just see what we look like. It's very sweet
Yeah.
of him.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of blind guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
So we got one guy not listening to us, another guy just like feeling around the room.
I'm pretty sure I've seen a movie with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder about
Blind
that.
guy didn't.
Yeah, no, he heard it though. He really liked it. Have you seen Hear No Evil, See No Evil? Have you seen that with Richard Pryor and Gene
Oh
Wilder?
yeah.
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 It's great. That's good.
I've
Any
told you
last
my favorite one. Yeah, hear no evil, speak no evil. And what's his name? Where he's jogging through. Is that the one where he's jogging through the park?
Mhm.
And his buddy tells
yeah.
him to jump, and there's no bench, but then he doesn't tell him to jump, and he runs him right into a bench.
Oh,
Or he wakes up. He wakes up in the morning. He's in bed with the woman, and she goes, "It doesn't bother you that I'm black?" And he goes, "Black?" She goes, "What's the problem?" He goes, "Oh, I'm colorblind too." So great.
It's good. I've
good
got the
stuff.
Blu-rays of them. I need to watch it. Anyway, well, that's
Yeah.
not what we're spoiling. That's
Anyway,
not
that's not the spoilers we were talking about here.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
spoilers for
again,
Project Hail
spoilers,
Mary.
everybody. Yeah.
Yes.
So the 2 words, Deej, 2 words. Rocky fix.
Rocky, what?
Had this that Rocky fix is when it had this guy just go like
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was
So was
awesome.
that when was the Rocky fix? When did he say that? When?
The first time we become aware that he could make it back.
Oh,
And so-
yes.
and so it just
No.
says Rocky
Yeah.
fix.
When I lost it was, and this isn't why I wanted to do spoilers, but when I lost it was when Ryan Gosling is knocked out and Rocky is just watching him. And if you notice in that part, like all the way up, all of the character building that had taken, that's all this movie is character building of these two people, of these two characters, right? One's a rock. Is all about like everything is they use the computer to synthesize Rocky's voice, right? So you get to that part where everything you hear comes through the computer. Well, at that point of the movie, they crash, Ryan Gosling gets knocked out, and the computer goes out, so you can't hear his voice. But the synthesis, all you hear is Rocky. But now you want, like, and this to me was the epitome of this entire movie is like, you don't need to see, you have learned Rocky's language by this point of the movie because Rocky is in his little thing and you hear him, you hear his noises and you feel like you know exactly what he's saying. Because he's like, he doesn't want to watch. He's saying like, wake up, don't, but you can't hear him. The computer's been knocked out, everything about it. And it's like, he can't do anything about it. And I was just like, oh my God. And again, you're like holding it in and you're like, no. And then he breaks out and you're like, oh my God. And then, it just, that to me, but that is, and this is what I wanted to say to you is like, I saw after all, like about halfway through this movie, not even, I would say about a quarter of the way through this movie, you hadn't even met Rocky yet. It hit me what this movie, and to me, how this movie spoke to me, what this movie is about is, do you know the story of the Tower of Babel from the Bible?
I do. Yes.
Okay. And that is this movie in reverse. This movie is undoing the Tower of Babel and what God did. So if for people that don't know, the story of the Tower of Babel is they built the city of Babel and they were going to, at that time on earth, everybody spoke the same language.
Yeah.
And what happened is, as they're building this grand city for everybody, they're like, we're going to build it up to heaven. And according to the Bible, what they did, God's like, we can't have that. So he gave everybody different languages so they couldn't communicate. And then it stopped. And in my research after this, You ever heard the term like, oh, he's just babbling on? You probably heard it a lot with this podcast. That's what babbling on. That's where that comes from. Tower of Babel. I was like, oh my God, that makes sense, right? Babbling on. And it's like that entire story in the Bible is like divide and conquer. If we separate, they can't speak, they can't communicate. The beginning of this movie, if you notice, is nobody can communicate. Right? They he's in they put him in the room and they have the one woman that's running the whole program. She has to turn around and go applaud because they don't know what's going on. And it's like, okay, great. All right. And then when he meets that one guy and they say, what was the line? It was like, this is how we do it. Oh, is that the line? And the guy says it and he goes, I like him. Yes. But it's like, you like him because you can relate to each other. Right. So I was like that. And getting to the part now, you get to the part with Rocky, it's like they couldn't have done any of that until they learned how to communicate with each other. And that's the epitome, the definite, like the entire meaning of this movie. It's the communication. And then I was thinking, even afterwards, think of like they had the like Ryan Gosling's trip, 3 people went to space. On Rocky's ship, it was 25 people.
Yeah.
Each ship.
Rocks. 25 rocks.
Life forms. Okay. So, yeah, exactly. Kind of reinvents the pet rock, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So 25 life forms there, 1 survives. 3 on Ryan Gosling's, 1 survives. Imagine if everybody survived and they all met there. I bet you that doesn't get solved because too many people communicating, too many people arguing. You'd have the 2 sides debating before they could even talk to the other side.
Yeah. Taking the time to even, to rely on one another. Yes.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, when you look at it from that aspect and like these 2, they had no choice. It's just, they had to communicate, they figure things out. And it was like, that to me is the whole message of the movie. And you're watching these 2 talk. I just thought like and that's why I want to see it so many times. It's like going back and seeing it again. I told you earlier, the opening scenes, the variable aspect ratios, they like shoot at you when he comes to, because my take is the variable aspect ratios are the IMAX screen that's present day. And then you go to 239, I think, or 235, and that's like a flashback. And then I believe there's a memory one in there where he's actually it's his memory telling the story where it's in between the 2 of them. Yeah.
There's definitely something there. It is not as clear as kind of first presented about what is he remembering as fact and what's he remembering with the fallacy of memory. There's clearly some uncertainty there. I must admit the question that was floating through my mind, almost zero gravity wise, through this film, was I clearly remember thinking, why has he chosen to go into space and on this mission? Right, but bear in mind, I hadn't seen the end.
Yeah,
and all the way through, I was thinking to myself, is there something there? Because of all the characters, it is clear right from the beginning he is the least connected to humanity. As presented, we don't know about. He's got no. I mean, they say at the end, but I had presumed no family,
no dog,
no pet. Well, this is one man and his dog, I would say. This is kind of what this is. And so I was thinking to myself, why would he volunteer to have done this? Why would someone with no connection to humanity want to save humanity? And that was the question rattling around in my brain throughout this. I was thinking, why is he so selfless? Why is he on this mission? And of course, we then discover, spoilers again, everybody, that of course he didn't choose to do this. And it was a press ganged. He was literally, smacked on the back of the head and told you going. And so there is something there as well, thematic about, and the communication thing is valid 100%. DJ, I like that. I didn't think of that, and I like that. But there's something there about choice and selflessness. And by the way, what's the word that he types on the screen in relation to what it means to do something not for yourself? Is it brave that he
Yes.
types on that screen?
He wrote brave.
So that's where he got that. Fine.
But-
That's where he gets the word from. Yeah.
Yes,
Because Rocky says brave. You're brave.
Well, no,
Yeah.
Rocky says something, but he fills it in, and meaning like, because Rocky's saying he's calling him selfless,
Yeah.
right? Rocky's asking,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what do
But he
you
adopts
call
the word.
somebody like you that is selfless that would do this? And he says like stupid,
Yeah.
but joking, sarcasm. He goes
Dumb. Yeah, he says
dumb,
dumb.
right? But
Dumb,
then
yeah.
exactly, he says dumb. But then Rocky says no, you're blah, blah, and he writes in brave. So now he's filling in when Rocky says this. The computer will now
Word,
fill in
right,
brave.
Yeah.
But you see on his face, Ryan Gosling's face at the time, like, I think at that point, he knows at that point, like, I think he remembered, like, I didn't choose this. So he
Well, but that's the
wasn't
thing.
brave.
But of course, at several points during the film, he does choose to do this. I mean, at any point he can.
Well, he has no
choose to-
choice now. He's
Well, no.
there. That's what you got to
Yeah, but he
quit.
doesn't have to go through with this. What he could do,
Right.
he said, look, he makes the choice again. So as I said, the communication is definitely valid, but there is definitely something in there about the nature of choice. He, having been pushed into this, he then chooses at every stage to put himself at risk for people he will never meet, as far as he knows, will never see, will never have any interaction with, and yet he is nevertheless choosing to do this. And then of course he then makes another choice later in the film to then save Rocky. So the idea is I've chosen to save the world, and I'm choosing to save my friend.
Yes.
And that choice, and again, and the whole end of this, isn't it, is can I have a bit longer to choose again?
That's
do I want-
great. And Rocky goes,
awesome.
take your time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, quite, which is
Meaning
another
like
thing.
Rocky
You want
tells
your-
him, he's like, your ship's ready to go. You could go at any time. Do you want to go? And he goes, can I think about it? And he goes, yeah, take a long time.
Yeah,
And it's like,
to a rock,
I mean,
of course.
that's a sequel all day long.
Oh yeah. Well, this is a book, of course, isn't it? This is
Yes.
based on a
So
book.
I was
I don't
going
know
to
whether
say
it's
that,
a
like,
series of them. Yeah, I don't know if there's more than one.
typically I don't like to listen to other podcasts about, especially like #dork and stuff, because I'm like friends with them, and I don't want to listen to other people before I do my opinion, because I don't want it to taint it. You know what I mean? Be like, oh, I see what he said there. Now it changes I want my opinion to be my opinion. But I did listen to their show today. Did not change my opinion. I agree with them. But I highly recommend going to their show. Go listen to #dork. It just came out this week. #dork. It's Project Hail Mary. It's labeled. Just go to all your podcast places and listen to it. It's on YouTube as well. Because Ryan read the book. And when I left the movie, I want to read the book. And Ryan gives a really good description. They do a spoiler version too. He gives a good layout of the differences and what it is. And I don't want to get into what they said. You can go there and listen to that. But he does a really good job of that, giving you a little bit more detail.
Yeah, I'd read that there's a lot more in it. Although, just looking,
it's a lot more scientific detail is what it is. It's like
which is fair enough.
Yeah, and what Ryan did say, he goes, what they did when they wrote this, it's the same people, and this I knew anyways, it wasn't them, but this is from like everybody from not Gravity, I'm sorry, The Martian, or
yeah, Martian,
yeah. Everybody from that is involved, writers, everything. The writer of the story, the screenwriter, the direct, all of that, they all came back and did this. Okay. And their screen version of the book in this, it's like they, from what Ryan said, is like they trimmed the fat, and like you're getting the whole story. You're just missing some of the more scientific, detailed stuff that isn't really necessary. But if you're into that stuff, he said, read the book. Okay. And he goes into some of it in there. So that's why I said, go listen to that.
So for Paul saying in the chat, they heard that Lord and Miller had a 3.5 hour cut. So of course that's another hour long. So that might have some of that stuff as well.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is, for a movie that's clearly about character and character development and getting you to care about these characters, another hour could be very interesting indeed. And of course, it's worth mentioning, because Jordan mentioned in the chat earlier about the visual effects. Of course, Rocky is a puppet. There are very few CG shots in this. It was a puppet. It was controlled. The was done on set. I mean, I read somewhere that Ryan Gosling and the guy that was doing the puppeteering had bonded so much they were like best friends by the end of this. Hanging around outside of this because they just formed this bond, which of course is what Grace and Rocky do.
Yeah.
So there are themes in this galore. I mean, there's a lot to unpack in this.
Yeah.
But that's what keeps you coming back. And again, my second view, but we will be at home, as I say. But the second viewing, it's going to be interesting to look at that. But I took from it choice and him choosing at these particular stages to do things that are selfless.
Yeah.
And that was very interesting. And again, how they formed this bond. And by the way, I'm just thinking Solo and Chewie, because he now knows what Rocky's saying without Rocky.
Oh yeah, he doesn't need the computer.
He understands. Fun.
So
that was very Chewie.
Exactly, but that is also my point in that in just the 2 hours of exposition we get in a movie, that one scene where the computer went out, we understood exactly what he was saying. We understood the emotion. We understood what he was saying and thinking. So like communication between the viewer and Rocky had been established. Never mind in just that small amount of time. So can you imagine trapped and you have to solve this, what it would take for you to communicate with something to communicate and it's not even an accident that communicate with a rock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And I had two other points that I thought were interesting. That one was never mentioned in the movie, but I'm wondering if that's the case. So at the beginning of the movie, one of the things that they talk about with Ryan Gosling's character is that he had written a paper about like water isn't necessary for life.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, it seems all well and good here because we need it. But what if you were someplace where you didn't need it?
Yeah.
And he was like basically banished from the science world. And that's why he was he became a teacher, right? According to this. So the way they get him onto this project is like, they find these cells, and they didn't know they were cells at the time, but they're like, what if this is the life form that doesn't have water? Well, of course, we're in spoilers. It's based in water. He's like, this is and he's all disappointed. The part they never tell you in this movie is Rocky the answer to his, does Rocky have any water? Because he's a rock.
Yeah.
Is there any water? You know what I mean? Like, is Rocky and his species the answer to his hypothesis?
Oh, okay. Well,
and it's never answered. It's never said.
No, well, on the planet at the end, of course, the sea there is all virtual. Or it's all created for.
Well, it's all created by them
biosphere.
For him.
Yeah,
right. They make and again, I don't want to like ruin. Go listen to #Dork because Ryan gets into all of that and everything that is a species of engineers. They can make anything. So that's go listen to his explanation, and then if you've listen to that like me, it's like go read the book, which is what I want to do. But yes, is that like rock? Is there any water in his species? Is that the answer? And they never say it. They never get into that. But that could potentially be the answer to his hypothesis, his theory. So
yeah, no, I didn't occur to me.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. And then the other part was the fact that he's a teacher. And did she see that in him by sending him to space? Like, you're a teacher. By nature, a teacher is a great communicator.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, Deej. Thank you very much.
Well, you are. I mean, teachers are great communicators because their job is to get information, to take somebody and have them understand something. And just because there are bad teachers, don't get me wrong. A bad teacher is like, here's the information. You don't get it, you're an idiot, and they move on. A good teacher will try to break it down and teach it in a way that person understands, then move on to the next person or student and say, okay, you're looking at this differently. I'm going to break it down your way. That's a good teacher. That's an educator, right? Somebody that is his character. That's the character you want out in space that's going to run into who knows what problem or whatever and be able to communicate this.
Did you find her character very sympathetic though? I thought I thought she was pretty horrible, quite frankly. Even at the end, I still think even once we know what we know, I thought she was horrible. So I think she's just like, you'll do because there's no one else, and if you're not going to go, we're going to bash you over the head and push you onto this thing.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it would be nice to think she was so altruistic to think he's the perfect man for it, but it almost felt like you're the only warm body that we're going to send, because she's not about to go. She's not volunteering.
Yeah, but she
herself
does. She knows she can't do the job.
Yeah,
He's the one. You know what I mean? It's like when you
Mhm.
look at it that way. I don't think she was sending him, because here's the thing. Look at it from the perspective of, and what I love about her character, and again, go listen to Hashtag Dork, because they have a great take on her character and what they would do. So I'm not going to say it, but look at her character from the perspective of, okay, she's sending him not because she's afraid to go for herself, because if he goes and fails, everybody dies anyways. So what is she really doing to him? She thinks and believes he is the best chance to save the planet. So do you really think what she did was wrong? He didn't believe it, but she did. And obviously he proved her right. But what if she go the other direction? What if she didn't, if she did listen to him, was the kind soul and was like, okay, you don't want to go, you don't have to go. And we send somebody else that's not up to the job, and everybody dies.
So the ends justify the means?
Absolutely. When you're talking about saving a whole planet.
Ooh, I mean, that's an interesting argument.
Well,
As
a lawyer, Steve, the ends absolutely justify the means when the ends on both cases are exactly the same. She didn't kill him.
No.
She actually saved everybody. But had she not done it, she could have potentially killed everybody.
Yeah, but again, you talk about a lawyer, that I would believe in the law and his constitutional rights. And that does not mean they've got the right to bash him over the head, kidnap him.
She doesn't. She's not even American.
Well, yeah, but we are signatories to the Human Rights Act here. You've got the right to live your life.
Okay.
And so it will be.
And when he wakes up in space and comes back, she can question him. But
I mean, I thought, you
don't have a constitution if the planet goes away.
Well, yeah.
Right.
But
if he fails in space, and here's the thing, if you're her and you believe this in your heart, you know this is right. If you're her and he fails, you're not in trouble because you're dead. Everybody's dead anyways. If he succeeds, go ahead, try me. But guess what? Everybody lived. She is literally sacrificing her life at that point.
Is she?
Yeah, because if he comes back, say he does come back, and he walks up to her and punches her in the face and tells the world what she did, everybody's going to look at her and go, oh my God, throw her in prison. I can't believe she did that to him. But he's the one that saved the planet. And the only reason you're getting to throw her in prison is because he's the one that saved the planet. So she literally, and she would be sitting in prison going, I'd do it again 1,000 times over because I saved the planet.
Yeah, I have some morality issues with that, but I know.
But the morality goes out the window when you're talking about extinction.
Well, but should it not be the way, in fairness, how it is presented here, which is he is given the choice. He does, in fact, have.
Yeah, they try to do it the right way.
Yeah, well, quite. But also, even after he has been forced into this, he still has his choice, and he makes his choice, and he puts himself in danger as a result of that choice. So even after all the horrible stuff they've done to him, even after he remembers what they've done to him, he still makes the choice to go through with it, the choice to hopefully come back, and of course, ultimately, the choice to save his friend. And so that's his bravery, that's his heroism, that's his hero's journey, as it were, to quote David Morrell. So that would be writer of First Blood, as you know, but some of them might not. So that's his hero's journey. It is initially he refuses that choice. He says, "No, I'm not doing it." They force him, but he then makes the right choices, even though that's been done to him. So I think that's the heroic side of it. Her actions, I think, are reprehensible, and it's interesting how the movie doesn't really, I don't think, take a stance on that, because you see her at the end. She's older. She's obviously, it's winter because, of course, the sun has been drained, isn't it? So they're in the sea. That's why it's at the ice caps. but I think she's reprehensible. I think she's actually a horrible character on my first viewing.
Yeah.
I thought she was horrible.
I think that's what you're supposed to think.
Yeah.
But you need those people.
Yeah.
Right. The difference is she was treating this situation like a military situation where it's like, I'm in command. You have to do what I say. Right. When you join the military, you sign over. That's it. I need you to run up and take that hill. Thanks, Commander. I'm going to die. Yeah, I know, but I need you to do that. Oh, okay. You go, right? Well, in this case here, you got Ryan Gosling. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for that. But she's treating it like that. I need you to go. You're the one. Yeah. I don't want to go. Well, guess what? We're going to pack you up and you're going. And I get it. I understand that reprehensible part, but you need people like that to make those tough decisions, because if everybody just goes by if everybody just lets everybody be, I'm scared, and nobody goes, what do we do?
Tell me this, Deej, do the dogs agree with me or you?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, she is an interesting character, right?
Yeah,
and I think even at the end, he's at peace with it. He's not mad at her. Like he sends the message back and is like, you know, don't worry, you'll figure it out. It's like,
well, Paul's got an interesting thing, actually, and I must admit I had kind of forgotten this. So he says that he thinks the whole unit working on the problem thinks she's awful as well, but she's the boss, which is why they're surprised she could and did sing. That's interesting. Yeah, there is definitely a layer to the character that is brought out by the singing and that kind of stuff. But as I said, I think she's horrible. And
do you know
what she did is horrible?
But do you know who she is as well?
Who's that? What, in real life or in the character?
In real life.
No.
Yeah, she's now I'm going blank. And I'm embarrassed to go blank. We just talked about it when I had Buzz on. Coach of the USA team in 1980. Her character is that person. He was awful to them. Her character is awful to everybody, to, like Paul's saying, to what he's saying, like a good coach, like in that situation is awful. And then you let other people pick up the pieces.
Okay. I see. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh man, now I'm going blank. Now I hate when I do this. Going blank on what his name was.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And Miracle. Right. Miracle.
Yeah. Miracle.
Name.
Yeah. Exactly. There we go.
Oh no, that's not one. Yeah. So I've done it too quick. Right. 2 seconds. That's because I've spelt it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm an idiot. And what's Herb Brooks? There we go.
Herb
Found
Brooks.
it.
There we go. Yeah. You got it. Yeah.
I was just drawing a blank. But Herb Brooks, like, watch Miracle and like talking with Buzz. That's what he was. He didn't want to be a father figure. He didn't want to be. Well, technically, that's the definition of a father figure too. It's like, you know, be the jackass to your kids so that they grow up and know how to handle jackasses and let them handle it. Well, that was Herb Brooks. It was like, if they need a mother figure, that's what the assistant coaches were. If they need help, you deal with it. I need a job done. And that's basically what her character is. And then, yes, they have her singing that. And of course, she sings the song she sings as well is very apropos. But it's like, she is human. They show that. But in that scene, but for most of it, she is very like robotic, very business oriented, and like, this is what we got to do. Even to the point, like when she first said, he's like, I don't know. And she's like, okay, pack it up. We're out of here. I got other places to be. And, you know, she's just like, if you can't help me, I don't need you. And she moves on. And then he begged to be in. Right. Yeah. And now it's like, after everything that's happened, she's like, you're the one. I need you. And he's like, I'm not the one. And it's like, trust me, you're the one. You're going. And it's like, yeah, you're right. But you're talking about the entire planet. It's like, extinction.
But it's, I mean, but the extrapolation from that then, isn't it? Is it so if I believe something strongly enough, I can do whatever I want to achieve that thing that I think is good for everyone. Is that not a dangerous slope to proceed down?
Absolutely. And you better be able to be willing to live with the consequences.
There we go.
And she is.
But also to others. Yeah. So like I said, I mean, it would be interesting to talk to the directors or the writer, wouldn't it, about what his view of that character is.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
I took from it after one viewing that the hero here is him. Again, we won't worry about the gender side. That's not, we're looking at that, but the idea that he refuses the choice. The choice is thrust upon him, and he then repeatedly makes the selfless, brave choice.
Other than initially he didn't want to go.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So he refuses the choice. The choice is then taken away from him.
Right.
But he then makes the choice to go through with this, to put others before himself, to be brave when he does not have to. There are multiple points in this where he can just say, no, I'm giving up. That's it.
Right. Yep.
And so that's, to me, the hero's journey is him making that choice, saying, okay, I'm now in a position where I've got to make that choice, and the choice I make is going to be the right one for Earth, but also for my friend. Because again, so by refusing to make the choice, that's selfishness. He then makes the selfless choice, and then
after the fact, right?
Yeah, quite. And then decides when he is on his way back to Earth, his friend is going to die. No, I'm going to save him, and I'm going to save them. But that's what I'm going to do. And so that to me is the hero's journey, as I say. Yeah. And I think she's horrible, but the way the film presents it, I think you're probably right. I think she's not supposed to be a villain. She's not supposed to be a bad guy. In some respects, there are no bad guys in this movie, if that's right. But I took she was absolutely vile. Because I just don't agree with the decision that she made, that she took that choice from him. But then that's the lawyer in me, Deej. I don't like bullies.
Well, that's the thing, is I'm not sure that's a bully situation, because she's not doing it for a benefit. She's not doing it just to push somebody around. She has a purpose, and the ultimate purpose in mind. And I would imagine, like, if they made the movie centered around her, right, and you saw the turmoil she had to go through with making those decisions, and it's like, you pray you're never in that position where you have to. I mean, that position it's the submarine captain, right? I got to tell you to close that hatch, and you're going to die. You're going to die on that side of the hatch so that the rest of the ship survives, right? Yeah. That's the choice she made. And it's like, you're not going to, it is like, what are you going to do to her afterwards? And she's going to make that decision, 1,000 times out of 1,000, because she's like, I have to live with my choice. If he fails, she has to live with that. If he succeeds, she has to live with that. Like, I did that. All right, this is what happens. And it's like, to your point, is like you said, like, so you're saying this is okay? Nope, not saying it's okay. But if you're ever put in that position, know damn well why you're doing it and be able to live with the consequences. She could be sitting in a cell the rest of her life knowing, I made the right choice. I saved the planet. People like yourself, and most people, I think, are like you. I agree with you. I couldn't have done what she did 100%, but I'm not like, I'd be like, sorry. I'd be like, we'll find another way. We'll find another way.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go.
So
it's interesting. It is interesting, but this is why in a blockbuster movie that these things are these issues raise themselves. It means it's an intelligent blockbuster, which we like.
yeah, absolutely. It's one other thing I saw, and it's like, again, going to Tower of Babel and staring at the poster there that we have up on the screen, Project Hail Mary. And they've got the two triangles for which are triangles, strongest shape in nature, found in nature, blah, 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 all these things. But it's also Father, Son, Holy Ghost, everything, the Holy Trinity, everything's a triangle, all of this stuff. It got me to thinking about Hail Mary, the term Hail Mary. Right. And it's like, and they go over it here, and it's like, Hail Mary. It's like, we take it for granted. It means like, oh, it's a last ditch effort. Like they said, it's this, who coined that phrase, and how deep does that go? Because Hail Mary, Mary, Mother of God, mother of Jesus. It's like, I need a miracle. Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna hail? Mary.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of this movie, you wake up, and as they said, Hail Mary, full of grace. There's Paul. Paul, you beat me to it, buddy. Paul, Hail Mary, full of grace. There you go. And it's like, at the beginning of this movie, what does Ryan Gosling look like? He's walking around like he's like the epitome of Jesus. He's like walking around with the hair, everything. It's like, but yes, it's like, this to me is another one of, this is how I felt walking out of what is it, Man of Steel, and like him going out, which there's been a lot of, everybody compares that.
Metaphor. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, it's like that. All of this stuff that this movie is just like inspiring thoughts. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's a blockbuster, and for a blockbuster to resonate like that, to me is just like, it's just so much fun. And then have a home theater experience to look forward to, the dorky, geeky stuff we like,
No, it's very cool. All right, did you know our 15-minute spoilers?
Yeah, there we go. That's our 10 minutes from across the pond.
We never hit one yet.
Nope, not at all. So, wow.
Man.
All right. We started on time. We went a half hour over. What a show. So, we're back tomorrow.
Yes.
4 p.m.
Slightly different sort of show. It's a panel, isn't it, tomorrow?
It's a panel. Steve and I got our work cut out for us, but it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of information. I did start one here. So for Steve in the chat, he did say this earlier. Amazon wants to squeeze every penny they can out of us. Likely many streamers will be doing more of this kind of stuff. Pay extra for more bits. HBO Max also limits Dolby. That's a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about tomorrow, and how they limit bits, compression, how they save money, stuff like that, and why we want to do the stuff that we do with, physical media, Kaleidoscape, the best possible version that can contain the most information. And again, that's, like I said, John Thompson and I have been talking about this for years, talking about different qualities and what the differences mean. And I'm hoping that we can bring, the definitive explanation on what all this stuff means, because it's all going to be, a lot of this stuff tomorrow, Steve, right? We've already had the conversation. This isn't opinion based. These are all about people that are talking facts and talking like whether you like it or not. And you could tune to taste after the fact, but these are the facts, and this is how you get the best possible quality. So, a lot of information.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay.
You get some sleep, because we got some work to do tomorrow. Everybody, thank you. Everybody in the chat, thanks to the patrons. Everybody, we will be back tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Come with your questions. Hopefully we can get to a few of them at the end. You'll see we have a very passionate panel. A lot of talking tomorrow. So until, let me see, where do we go? There we go. There it is. All right. Until next time, which is tomorrow, you know what you got to do.
Go push play. What he said.
That's right. And nope, there's the end. End.
Hey, Fred.
This has been a Hey Fred production with theme music by Jeff Bernhardt and Throne Vault Productions.